The Dumb Zone is a Texas brand. Just like Fair Lease, they're Texas proud, Texas owned and strong. They're part of the Credit Union of Texas, Blake. And when I think Texas, I think Fair Lease and fairness.
Fairlease.org. I talked to Joseph the other. Can I step in here?
By all means, sir.
I talked to Joseph, the president of Fair Lease.
Number one.
So this is a big deal. Yeah,
Head honcho,
there's
top
a
cop.
red phone that he called me on. He was saying it's great to hear from Dumb Zone listeners. They got their first lease off of TikTok.
What?
Look at that,
From
Blake.
us. He said it was
From
a
us?
TikTok that we put out there. Yeah, like a social media thing that we put out there, tagging Fair Lease. So really, that's important to us. If you do happen upon Fair Lease, even if you're just browsing, tell them you heard about it on the Dumb Zone. That means a lot to them. And then that means a lot to us. Right?
Fairlease.org. Click Request a Quote, then select the Dumb Zone on the How Did You Hear About Us page that pops up on the drop-down menu. You don't even have to leave your house. It can all be done over your phone. They'll deliver the car to you.
You can do it while you're taking a walk.
You could. Fairlease.org.
All right.
Why am I walking? I should buy a car.
Yeah, no,
These cars keep passing me.
I'm
What
often.
is this innovation? Can I lease one fairly?
Doing so much on my phone during the walks, bro.
Oh, I know.
Imagine if I had as many steps as you, how much I could do.
Your thumb can reach the other side of the screen there? Big
Not
old,
really.
big phone, isn't it?
Your tablet.
Anyway, we could start off by saying I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
We have Clayton Kimbrough here. Here, being high atop my garage, where it all started.
Been a minute.
Dragon Den of Inequality. We have not been here in some time. And the reason we are here today is a sit-in who has requested that we broadcast here. This sit-in is Amy Martin.
Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Martin.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She's real.
She is
Do a lot of
real.
our stuff.
She's spectacular.
Aw. That's
Your
sweet.
skincare routine is immaculate.
Okay.
You have nice skin. How old are you, Amy?
Okay.
64. Not exactly your demographic, but
I don't know, man.
We're
Our
killing it.
demographic
I feel like
Women.
you're.
is human.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You get
yeah,
at the ticket
64-year-old
or
woman, really?
in radio. They're like, oh my gosh, we have to have men 25 to 54, or you guys don't get your bonus.
Yeah, and as a lover of woman, it would break my heart. They would show me a listener. It would be a woman, I imagine a gentle soul, in Little Elm who listens to the Hang Zone all day. It didn't matter.
Did not
Because
account
she
for the
didn't have a
ratings at all.
penis.
Right, and she had buying power.
I'm glad I don't have a penis, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
still
keep
like
you out of some trouble.
the dumb zone. I don't know about that.
Anyway, all humans matter.
TV monitors 2+. I'm learning.
Really?
Anyone over the age of 2 watches DZTV, we get credit.
I
I'll
saw
tell you
that.
what,
Yeah,
anybody
I saw that. That's a big
Let
number.
your kids watch.
Yeah, we were crushing the tots.
Anybody that's won, though, we will accept them here. They want to subscribe? You want
Really,
to get a subscription for your 1-year-old?
no rules here. Just right, you know?
Wouldn't that be great? I mean, people are buying. Who was it the other day? Was that a 1-year-old's birthday party? I can't remember. People are buying presents for this 1-year-old. That 1-year-old doesn't know.
Did somebody just do the 2 Chainz thing? Is that you?
I didn't do it on purpose if
Okay.
I did.
True.
Oh, no.
This 2-year-old baby smoking weed.
The point is, get your baby
Yeah.
a Dumb Zone subscription over there on Patreon.com or whatever.
We'll lock it in.
Are you scouting Jordan Hudson's? What are you doing at a 1-year-old birthday party?
I might be. I don't want to talk about it. You can see the bone structure early.
Jesus.
Amy emailed us. We're going to hear more from Amy in what we call closing remarks.
The coming segments and minutes.
Can I read this email or no?
Sure.
Your initial email.
I don't
would,
remember what it said, but go ahead.
Hi, Blake. I would like to have a sit-in. I'm recently divorced, and it would be awesome to meet and to get to know a DZer
Let's go.
let me know if we can work on a DZ fix-up. So stay tuned to the end of the show.
Are we live?
Live.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it, Dan. Okay, let's hit the chat.
Hit the chat. All right.
Oh, geez. Oh, please. If it's anything like Reddit, forget it.
YouTube chat's nice.
Does Reddit hammer you?
I never read Reddit, but that's what y'all
That's what we say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be fine. There's lots of horn dogs
How long
out
were
there,
you married?
Andy Martin.
32 years.
That's so wild. I mean, is it acrimonious, or is it?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
It was his idea, and he's been a complete asshole.
Okay, that's not so fun.
No.
I guess in my head, I
Was
imagine
his idea to get the divorce?
Yeah.
How did he approach you, and did you take it well? I'm not writing notes down.
kid situation.
Wait,
We have an old daughter's
Okay.
in her 20s.
All right.
we'll hear about all this in closing remarks.
Yeah,
but
it's
we're
just
very
there's
excited.
so much.
We're very excited to talk to you, but we have lots of
You
stuff
see my
on
angle? I'm
today's
just
program.
like, can it ever just happen and be cool, or what are we?
My parents were cool.
I think we need to focus on Blake's shirt,
He's a good friend of the show now.
What is it?
the Duke Manyweather, Tyler Booker's coach, and Tyler Smith's coach, and our offensive line guru.
I thought he was a great dude.
He's a great guest, but
Support him.
I don't know, man. This transformation of you wearing like offensive line T-shirts and sporting a mustache.
I mean, you know it all starts at the line of scrimmage.
And your hat, while we know it's a Dumb Zone moosing hat, looks political. Like, you just look like
The mustache, dude.
this whole thing is just it's a lot.
jarring
right now.
every time I see you, but then I love it.
I love it too.
Muzzy May.
It just looks so good.
Join me.
I might join you. I don't know.
Your mic's off.
How about
Sick.
now?
There you go.
How about now?
I had a thought the other day. Sergeant Sixto would be all up Blake's ass with this mustache.
Yeah, the
Sergeant who?
from Generation Kill. Dan would have loved
Okay,
this bit.
I was thinking of Sergeant Slaughter. Isn't that a wrestler?
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
a 90s wrestler or something?
Just the guy who's like, okay, so the rule was when you were deployed in certain battalions, like you could have a mustache, but it couldn't extend beyond the edges of your lips. And so
I think I'm within rank.
one, but you're a little too in rank is the point, because you can be in rank and have a historical mustache.
A Jordan.
Should I keep it?
Yeah, you have a little late Jordan,
All right.
and you're not.
Hey, first
breaking
time
regs.
we're learning. All right.
So since I've last seen you guys, I've been a man about my community, and it started Tuesday night. But I will tell you what I did this morning first. I was a chaperone at a kindergarten field trip. Now this field trip, it was a nice entry, little first base type action, because we just walked 10 minutes to the botanical gardens.
Botanical?
I got two different.
Sounds like there's a coal, but whatever. Doesn't matter. It's
I
a
think I've
garden.
been saying it wrong a long time, but it's a cool park. A little more than just like a playground. It's huge. So we walked over there, and I don't know why I was doing. I guess I was doing it because my wife is out of town. My wife's actually in Canada, and she was like, I was going to go. Will you go? And I guess I thought a lot of parents go. I would say for 4 classes, there were 8 adults. It's not a lot.
Well, people work.
I know. I guess just having a flexible job, that's why Kristen does it. But I was like, that made me feel better that I was there. Like, oh, okay, this is a thing. Like, it stands out a little bit to Nora that I'm here. At least that's what I thought until I got there, and she was like, didn't know me.
Yeah.
It broke down a little bit to where she wanted to play with me and hang out. But at first, she just literally walked right past me. And I'm like, all right, that's what we're doing today. That's cool. And then a couple little Kirby-type situations. So I'm pushing the kids on, her and 2 of her friends, on like a joint swing. 3 people can get on it, but now a 4th one wants on. And I'm like, I don't know about this. It's a big kid. This is going to break the swing. And she starts to get on, and they're like, push us. Nora's dad, push us. And I'm like, I don't know. The teacher looks over, and she steps in. And I'm like, thankfully, I'm saved on that one. So then I'm pushing Nora and her friends for a minute, and then they decide they want to get off. And I go sit down, and I'm just chilling. Like, all right, I'll check in with Dan and the boys. And now 3 other kids I don't know come up to me, and they're like, you're the pushing guy?
Pushing guy.
I was like, I don't know. I don't even know you. And they're like, come push us. I'm like, this is weird, but
Yeah, but you're on the
I'm
class
gonna
trip.
do it.
You're there for the class.
yeah. So it's fascinating to me still.
Yeah,
to
'cause I
watch
hate-
her just interact and navigate little situations, and it still blows my mind to watch her politic and stuff. It's crazy.
Because you're seeing her in a different element. In society, and this is how...
I just was falling back while I was recording a lot of it, but...
Like, does she act significantly different?
No, she's very loud, a vocal kid. She talks a lot to every other kid, to strangers, It made me proud, though, because there were other kids whose parents were there who immediately just was like, go to their parent and couldn't interact after that. And I was proud of her for that. But my big citizen night of import was Tuesday night at Grapevine City Council meeting, where my wife and I were honored by the historic district for our remodel.
What's that?
What does that mean?
So
you live in Grapevine by Main Street. Mm-hmm. That's the good Grapevine, as they know it.
I think
old
South
Grapevine, right?
is fine.
Did you get a plaque?
Older.
Yeah,
It's up
I
in your
did.
office?
So wait, you did a remodel. You had to go to the city council to beg for the ability to do it, right?
Yeah, it's not an easy process. It's not an easy process.
And they wouldn't let you do 2 stories.
No.
And you cut down that tree.
You cut down a historic tree.
Thanks, guys. Really unnecessary here. Like,
It
they
took a
obviously
lot longer than
approved
it
that
should've.
part, so not important.
You've taken the historic district, and the backyard is now just fake grass. So for this historic, this is just like this 100 years ago.
Yeah,
But it's nice. It looks really nice.
They are pretty serious and have been since like the early 90s about keeping things looking kind of the same.
So why do they honor you just because you did it and didn't go against what they asked you to do?
I'm not sure because there were 3 or 4 people honored. And
That's
they're
a
all in
waste
our
of my
neighborhood.
taxpayer dollars that they bought a plaque for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the taxes,
We're
I feel
buying
like
plaques for everybody
I feel
that
like the plaque is in there. More on that later, though, because our friends at Ownwell have done me right. But yeah, it's a city council meeting, so and it's so funny, dude. It's like got a lot of pomp. It's like a rotunda. There's pomp and circumstance. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? We're not in Boston comp. Like, this is a Grapevine. It's a small little meeting here, but there's like the presenting of the flag and like marching in the flag. I'm like, what are we doing? And now we're gonna
And
do
like you're standing there with a bunch of other couples?
bunch of other couples, a bunch of other volunteers, because they were talking about plans for Main Street.
Did you like wear a suit?
No, I wore nice pants and a button-up.
Okay.
And
Were you instructed by wife to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it. Is that what you're wearing?
Okay, you had to go change.
And so, but there's 60, 70 people in there because there's different stuff going on in the meeting, and now it's Pledge of Allegiance time. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
We do that at the
Pledge.
beginning of the...
Yeah, well, some people do.
Okay.
Not me, but the point is there's a lot of
It's like 3rd grade.
there's a lot of that. And
Did they sing the national anthem?
No, but I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been out of place. They honored police officers because I think Police Week is in May. They honored detention officers, which was awkward because when the police officers walked in, everybody stood up and applauded, and I don't think they knew the detention one was coming. And then those people came in. They're clearly a different, like, I don't say class of person, but like the police officers all look very put together. I don't think the requirements for working at Grapevine Jail are as high as being a cop. So now everyone's like, I'm not going to stand for the jail cop. Like, come on.
Having Police Week, though, isn't that like having White Man Week? Like,
Well,
they are in charge of us.
To be clear, this is not a Grapevine thing. I think this is like one of those federal deals.
Even that, I'm just saying.
So there was
Like,
that. There was that was after us. Before us was like you hear about sister cities. You know, I think that's so. It seems
Oh, yeah,
lame.
like Eric,
Grapevine.
the Dallas mayor has one. I can't
Oh,
remember.
I'm sure they usually have a few, but in Dallas, like it almost makes sense for trade and like maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Grapevine is really into it, and I think part
Who's
of it
their
is
sister city?
they have like 6 or 7. One of them, I'm pretty sure.
Like overseas type?
Yeah. There's one in America, but a lot of it's wine based because Grapevine does a lot of wine.
Okay.
But they had a guy there from Baylor Scott and White, the hospital, like he's the admin exec, and they had just gone to Grapevine's sister city in Mexico, like in some remote place, and brought like defibrillators and EKG machines and incubators and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, goddamn. Look at this. It's not just like, oh, our 3 people from our town come to yours and take pictures and drink wine.
So my taxpayer dollars is defibrillating
and plaques.
Some Mexican guy.
Some Mexican guy. That's right. So they honored us. They honored 3 other or 4 other couples. They show a before and after of your house, which is cool, except for us. They had found a photo from 1955 also. So they had the one from before our remodel and after, but they just put the photo from 1955 up as the before, and it's the only house in the neighborhood. And then it's like after. It just didn't hit, I don't think, the way that they wanted it to. But the highlight of the night was public comment. Now, I've never done this before, and I don't know that I do know. I will do this. I will someday be pissed off enough about something to engage in public comment. I'm not there now. But this gentleman who was there last night was, and he was the only person who signed up to speak. And I was not aware of there being any sort of contentious issue or, sometimes you go into these, like I've been to one in Grapevine before where everybody knew this one's about the schools and everybody was hopping mad. This guy just got up there by himself and I had no idea, what's his bit. So I'm going to play you one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time in person.
Shortly after moving here, I was adopted by a 12-week-old stray border collie on the bike path that bisects the Grapevine Faith Christian Athletic Fields.
Now you see this cute phrasing will continue throughout this story of the dog adopting him. That's a big, this guy probably...
He's saying after he moved here?
Yeah, he was walking.
So he found a dog.
And the dog adopted him.
Yeah.
He's an older gentleman. He appears to maybe be retired, and he lives in some really nice apartments in Grapevine.
Fortunately, I was not flying much at the time, and I was able to devote a considerable amount of time and effort to training the smartest, most friendly canine I've ever met. She took to the leash training so well, I decided to spend a couple of $100s at Bass Pro to get an electronic leash. Daisy has an inherent instinct to stay close, and she adapted very well to the electronic leash.
You guys can see where this is headed, right?
No.
Well, have you ever been stopped by a cop because your dog wasn't on a leash?
Oh.
Because I have. It used to happen to me in Fort Worth. Really, it wasn't leash. I would get stopped in Fort Worth because she didn't have a address tag. Like, it fell off, and I didn't have one for a month, and this cop he did it 3 times. No address on that dog.
Okay.
I'm like, bro.
Wow.
In the 4 years since Daisy has adopted me, we've been challenged by Grapevine police officers who did not see a leash. With one exception, every time the officer was shown the remote control and the accompanying collar, they nodded in agreement and allowed us to proceed on our way. About 25 years ago, I was sitting in your seats, serving as a commissioner mayor for the city of Oakland Park, Florida.
Uh-oh. The call's coming from inside the house. This guy knows how this all works.
So I decided to look up the city code to review the language. The term leash does not appear in Section 6, the definition section, and the at-large section only says that a leash must have sufficient length and strength to control the animal. The term physical leash does not appear in the city code. During a couple of encounters with animal control officers, they have used the term physical leash. Previously, an explanation that my electronic leash met the requirements of the city code was sufficient. However, my most recent encounter was contentious enough with animal control that I requested a citation to settle the issue in court.
Yeah, I'll meet you there. I'm requesting it. I'll see you.
Baller move. Yeah.
And guy with a lot of time.
I was thinking about how, Matt Brunig said, we need to hire an autist.
Yeah.
Because they'll work hard for you. I was thinking we need to hire an old.
I wanted to interview this guy, just be like, anything you need him to get to the bottom of.
Yeah, or an old autist. Well, it appears he might be this.
Yeah.
I figured that if Animal Control Division wanted to enforce a physical leash perspective, they would have approached the city attorney and petitioned for a strengthening of the language. Since they have not done that, I have taken the liberty to craft a draft ordinance.
Come on, man.
So this guy's
That's what I'm saying. Is he's
ready to roll. I've got all the info here.
Yeah.
I'm giving you.
I would think you'd want the language changed, so I just did it for you.
Yes, he's anticipating their move, and he's making the next move ahead of time.
Every stage.
Since they have not done that, I have taken the liberty to craft a draft ordinance that should settle the issue. I would appreciate you taking the time to catch the city of Grapevine up with a code, city code up with a topic as mundane as technology advances in the area of animal control.
There you go.
If you have any questions or would like a demonstration of the ability to control Daisy's behavior with the electronic leash, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Would you like these?
You can leave it with the city secretary, please.
Circular file. They throw it right in the trash?
Man, when he did I misheard him. I thought he had said, if you'd like it, I just heard, if you'd like a demonstration of how it works. And I laughed. And Kristen, nudged me. And I'm like, that's a laugh line. Nobody else is laughing because they don't understand this guy's bawling out right now.
Yeah.
B-Rabbit over here, just bar for bar, the whole crowd, and just wrapped with attention.
So you had to stay for the whole meeting?
No, we left halfway through.
Okay.
They ushered. We went to a reception in the mayor's office. So
you got to meet William D. Tate?
I did. I met the big man.
How's he doing?
He's the mayor. I know that.
I met him 15 years. He's been the mayor forever.
Yeah.
Literally. Ever.
No, and I got to be honest.
He's got a street named after
I thought he was friends with Davy Crockett 30
Yeah.
years ago when I was growing up. I was like, William B. Tate, the guy from the
current mayor
knife.
has to be the son of the guys whose the
Grandson.
seat is named after, or street.
Yeah.
No, it's him.
It's just him. And he was there.
And he's awesome.
Yeah, and he's just chilling in the back with
he's
us.
the reason that you don't pay for parking in Grapevine. He's the reason that there's not big. Yeah, he keeps Grapevine cool.
Yeah, it was nice, man. They try to put out a little spread for you and gave Kristen a glass of wine. I'm trying to be normal, man, but it's so hard for me. If you had a camera on me in that little room, as I was just doing the kind of walk up to a group of 3 people, and it's this is probably isn't it. Kind of walk up to another group. It's just not, and it's not for me. But I was very proud of my wife.
All of society isn't for us.
I'm gonna take my. I'm starting to realize that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my plaque down to the bank and see if I can refinance my mortgage. But we did win an award, and it was kind of cool. You know what I found out?
Did your mom go and they're taking
my mom
pictures?
had to watch the kids,
Oh,
but.
okay.
You know what I found out? This is a topic for another day, and maybe it just means I'm an uninformed parent. I found out last night I'm pretty sure my daughter will go to Grapevine Middle and Colleyville Heritage High School because Grapevine has a split feeder pattern for their junior highs. Which
where you're zoned.
I'd never heard of that.
Yeah. So how far away is Grapevine Middle?
Grapevine Middle is over by where that track. I don't know.
Oh, you're just thinking Colleyville is a bit far.
Colleyville Heritage High School is way further than Grapevine for me. Plus, it's weird to have half of her middle school go to one high school and half go to the other.
But it is the Colleyville, Grapevine Colleyville ISD.
I don't know if this is necessarily true, but I've heard that it might be because Grapevine has a lot of apartments. There's a project down the street from my house, as weird as it sounds, Section 8 federal housing. And Colleyville has no apartments and no multifamily homes. So from a socioeconomic diversity standpoint,
it's gerrymandering. They've gerrymandered you over there?
In a sense, it's a new version of busing. Really, kind of.
Yeah.
To mix it up a little. I mean, they're both great schools.
But she's going to go to the nicer one.
I don't know. I think I'm much more comfortable in Grapevine. People who are from around here will know what I mean when I say this, but I grew up, I went to Richland. And you know how you're always just I want to make the generation after me a little better? I didn't want us to get all the way to Southlake. My kids can get to Southlake or Highland Park. I swear to God, when I was a kid, I thought Grapevine. That's where rich people live.
Your ceiling coming from where you're coming from.
Which was not bad, but it felt like a step up. It
Yeah.
felt like when I heard about Grapevine, I was like, that's rich kids. And, of course, it's maybe not Colleyville or Southlake or UP, but that's for them to get to.
So the do the Ownwell thing. What did you do with Ownwell?
Oh, man.
On this great house.
Yeah, I'll
So
pull
you got
mine up.
property taxes in the mail.
I did. I did my protest. It was super, super easy. Very, very easy onboarding process. I'm trying to look back at how 690 Scene put it. He said,
we've been getting tons of emails from people.
tons. So with his saving, he said he's another satisfied listener customer. My net savings will cover my DZ subscription for the next 284 months.
All right.
So if you want to look at it as a way to get the podcast for free, ownwell.com/thedumbzone. You sign up in 3 minutes. You send them what you owe them, but you're getting money back. 86% of people get money back. It was an extremely easy process, and now I'm on auto, like Blake is.
Yeah, I didn't get on auto. I went in last year and typed in my stuff, but it said no refund for you, so I didn't do that. I'm going to do that this year because I want to be talking about that next year, how they saved me something too. So, cool.
My refund was $1,600.
Whoa.
Yes.
What's the Webby?
Ownwell.com/thedumbzone.
Can we go Webby for website?
Yeah, I like that.
Well, that can lead us into sports.
What a night.
Do you want to do sports? We have a big announcement, too. Let's do let's do sports. You want to start with stars?
Sure.
Although it's a good debate.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
And Stars fans will get mad, but the debate is, what's the biggest sports story of the day? Before the natty hatty, I would say the George Pickens trade will remain the biggest sports story of the day.
Yeah, but
Possibly pushed off.
no, not possibly. It's the second round, and it's because of what happened in Game 7.
Okay, I'm going to go watch ESPN and see where they rank these stories.
Well, you're going to have a tough time because neither one of them are going to be anywhere in your first 3 blocks because the Knicks are beating the Celtics in a
Are they up
playoff
2-0
series.
now?
Yeah, and the Celtics were up 20 points in both games.
Oh, nice.
Last night was awesome. Just beautiful. The Missoula,
Can you
the
imagine-
Celtics coach got pantsed, and he's, the golden boy.
If we
First
still
take.
had...
Nailed it.
I told you,
It's
dude. I was
Celtics.
watching. It's like, now I will, like last night, SVP after the game, they're talking hockey because they're carrying the game. But as soon as they got done with
They
hockey,
come right out of the game, yeah.
it was right back to what are we going to do about,
lie. Celtics.
hey, does the 24 title even count if you get bounced in the second round the next year? How does this change Jason Tatum's legacy? What does this mean for Jalen Brunson?
Great questions, and the way I think of it is, man, they kept Luka here. They have a good chance to get to the finals.
My entire
Could you
timeline last
imagine
night
if
was
he's
just
playing against Jalen Brunson? How awesome that would have been?
It would have been awesome. I also think that the league just looks super beatable right now. My whole timeline the last 2 nights are just like, this was the damn year. Like, why couldn't we have just tried this 1 year?
Right, and if you said, yeah, but what's his name got hurt? Kyrie got hurt. Yeah, he might not have gotten hurt if you were playing him the correct amount of minutes.
He might not have gotten hurt, and that would have been a problem, but a lot of teams are losing a lot of guys, and you still would have been competitive, I mean,
Yeah.
you're having tons of teams are playing without their second or third best guy in the playoffs. If you got your top one, but the Mikko thing, it was awesome. That was just every number you see about it, the way he did it, the more I learn about the guy, the whole thing was magical. Fun night.
I got a little audio. Because who's the lady on the call? So who's the booth?
John Buchagras, who I think Blake is not that familiar with, based on our text exchange last night.
I just think he was trying to cater to his audience.
That is his audience. First of all,
What was your text?
Well, because lady in the booth is very Canadian. It was she says a boot.
Cassie Campbell.
Very quiet Canadian, just over the top Canadian. And I thought Buchagras, the way that he was saying some words, was also morphing into more Canadian. I've heard Buchagras do baseball. He doesn't talk like that.
And this is like gaydar for you because you're a guy who actually you do this. You morph into whoever's around you. You will talk like them and act like them.
Yep.
And you've admitted that. So since you can recognize it in someone else.
Game recognizes code switch game.
Yes.
Well, anyway,
You know about he's definitely a hockey guy though, and he used to like call himself Bucci Main.
No, he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's like a full
Douchey
Kip
Main.
spin, but
That's
Douchey
good.
gross.
there was a
good.
former ESPN host that he was like sending a lot of really weird text to. The thing is, she was texting him back, but like you don't remember those photos?
What was he doing? Shirt off?
Shirt off, and he was calling her doll and stuff, and
Yes.
she worked for him. I don't know. It doesn't look great.
I was trying to read a little up on him, and
On Booch?
just to see where is he from? Is he actually Canadian?
Dude, he's a hockey guy. I'm telling you. That's how Dan and I know him.
But then I found this bio that he wrote, and this is what makes me think he's a douchebag. I once played golf with Ray Bork and tried to intentionally 3-putt so I could say I shot a 77 playing golf with Ray Bork. Instead, the downhill punt went in, and I shot a 75.
That is incredible. How did he manage to pull off that brag? Silly me.
A lot of brags
I
in there.
one-putted.
Anyway,
Accidentally made my birdie. Douche.
here's what I want to talk about.
Shot, save, blue score! What an effort by the Moose, who was loose in front.
Number one, his nickname's the Moose. Have we spent enough time on that?
No.
Being the
not.
home of the Moose?
When he got
Of
traded,
moosing? Did we?
we were alerted. Yeah.
We talked about it then, but
I think
we could
Winnipeg,
do more.
I think their mascot might be a moose. Am I wrong?
They had a moose in the video,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even though they're the Jets.
Look that up.
And from a prone position, he used that long arm to poke that one by Hellebuck, who was out of position, and Mikko Rantanen.
Okay, so I want us to pay attention to the lady color commentator. Mm-hmm. And how excited Booch is.
Poked that one by Hellebuck, who was out of position, and Mikko Rantanen ties the game.
So Pete DeBoer knows that he has to deal with the matchups here on the road. He gets Rantanen on the fourth line, but Sam Steele creates this play. Watch him drive Pionk back.
The point here is she's like an NPR.
I know she knows
like
a lot
she's
about
so-
hockey. She was really
very
good at
knowledgeable.
hockey.
It's like she's analytical. She's like a scientist.
She was the one that pointed out, I think it might have been in the second or third, they went right back to Ben, even though he was a disaster before that. And I was like, that's a good point. Could you sound like you want to make it rather than you'd rather be putting like someone to sleep? Big play from Moose right there.
Mikko Rantanen does it again. He deflects the shot from the point. It's his second goal of the game, his seventh of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and Dallas takes a 2-1 lead.
Well, there's a little bit of green sprinkled here throughout the stands in the whiteout, and they're loving this. And watch
Dude, I swear to God,
So Canadian.
it sounds like Margaret Jo McCullough and Terry Rialto. Like there's a couple greens sprinkled on the edge of the plate here, and if
And
you
there
put
he
a
is
couple
with
of
Score! Rantanen again! It's a hat trick in Winnipeg. Hintz was right in front, but it's Rantanen who remains scorching hot. That man is out of his mind.
the play at the offensive blue line by Matt Duchene. He gets pinched off. You see Lowry sees him. He pinches him
just
off.
no pulse. It's just no pulse. Like she just watched a guy.
No, like we're excited here. Yeah, this is a big.
This is the third time this has happened in like 80 years.
And that was like in a.
Boys.
It was all like a 7-minute stretch or so. I don't know how long it was.
Yeah,
it was all in a few minute stretch.
So this was all the group chat was about last night. There were comments like, "Sounds like she's doing a dog show."
Okay.
Okay.
Kinda like, oh, there
That's
you can
good.
look at that. Like, there's a little excitement when something happens. Like, right down the middle there,
So you gotta
can
keep it
tell
hushed.
coming in the slot. But the funniest thing was I looked at her Wikipedia page, and she works as a motivational speaker.
Yeah, just ready to run through a wall.
And you can soar high. I want to play a little bit of hockey audio. This was an interview. I should have done a better job and found the source for you. It's 3 hockey bros, and they must be of some note because this interview was everywhere. And it's a guy talking to the host. He's a beat reporter about the entire Mikko Rantanen exit from Colorado. And I listened to Joe Sakic yesterday. This is helping me because these are the only effing people on this entire planet who even kind of know how I feel right now after Luka got traded. Kind of. But listening to their owner be like, it was just, or GM be like, it's just a tough decision and it's a lot of money and he's a great player and yeah, we won a cup with him and we think he's great, but he just, it's not all about the stars. And I don't know, they didn't shit on him like the Mavs did Luka necessarily, but the more that comes out, it sounds like they offered a number like 11.5 a year, and his team was at 13, and they were at an impasse, and he got involved personally and got in contact with the organization and said, like, I want to stay here, and I'll stay for 12. And he was traded 48 hours later. And the deal he signed in Dallas is for 12. It's not for 13. So that's all laid out in this interview. And then let me just jump in here and see.
He's underpaid at 12.
Of course he is. He was underpaid. I was thinking that this morning, too.
He's underpaid
how
at
is
12.
he again underpaid?
So Colorado thinks, get him out of the division, right? Get him out of the West. We're going to send him to Carolina. He goes to Carolina, and now he's had no intentions of really signing there. They found that out. Now they got to move him. There's only two places he can go to, Dallas and Toronto. Toronto had the room, and the Toronto had the assets. And for those of you that think that it was just Mitch Marner or bust.
They're about to get into the weeds on some prospects here, but it's unimportant.
And for those of you that think that it was just Mitch Marner or bust, not true. Multiple offers, multiple assets were offered. You know what Rantanen says? I'm going to Dallas. You know why I want to go to Dallas? Because I want to jam it down Colorado's throat. I want them, not only do I want to play them in the playoffs, I want to go in for the next 8 years into that organization 3 times a season. And they got to look at me because I'm coming after them. Those were his words in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
Well, he said something when he came by the bench, too, which I'm sure was pretty impassioned. Yeah.
They also talked about the comments Nathan McKinnon made after they got bounced the other night. And he said something like, I don't know what they're going to do. Not like he's trying to leave, but that he's letting them know, hey, I'm the big swinging D here, and I'm not happy.
And probably much like Kyrie,
you have all the power.
The leverage now, yeah. They can't let you walk.
Yeah. I don't know. That just got me fired up. I mean, I don't. Now, the guy looks like the best player in hockey. I'm not saying. He's also a lot younger than I thought.
How old?
What is he, like 26, 27?
Oh, yeah. Those contracts would usually age well.
28.
So,
but, yeah, it's not great. But if they can – hell, I feel like it's already been worth it.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I wonder if – well, maybe the Stars do have him even if the Luka trade didn't happen, because this was happening in Colorado outside of that, you know? And
right.
Maybe if he just wanted to stick it to Colorado type thing. At least it was his choice to go to a in-conference rival, and not like his GM's choice to, like, you know what if I send him somewhere where he'll have revenge on his mind 3 times a year. Yeah, I wonder if
Yeah, the crazy thing about it is
it comes back.
Yeah, it would be better if there were another team involved in the Mavs thing, because apparently, like, this is working out very well for Carolina and Dallas. It's just Colorado that's having to answer questions about it.
Cowboys trade stuff.
We're back.
I'm back in. That's cool, man.
I knew we were one more move.
So George Pickens is interesting. They didn't give up a ton, right? 3rd rounder and then a swap, or a 3rd and a 6th for a set. Yeah,
it's not a ton, but like if you hadn't been intimate with your wife for a very long time and she kind of just brushed past it,
that's kind of
and
the
you
thing
got
here.
like super excited, nobody would be like, "What's wrong with you?"
I feel like
you gotta know where I'm
everybody's
coming from here.
I feel like everybody's super excited because the bar has been lowered exceptionally.
I spent 15 minutes yesterday on a 5th-round running back.
I was going to say, we're getting that jacked up about a 5th-round running back. There was 18 running backs taken before this guy, but somehow the Cowboys have outsmarted the entire NFL because this guy fits perfect here.
Right.
And yeah, same thing with George Pickens, very flawed, extremely flawed. Now, he's been a number 1 receiver, but that's kind of like saying that the number 1 pitcher on every staff is an ace.
Sure. But you're not asking him to be.
I don't think he's a number 1. Yeah, that's the bonus, is you're asking him to be better than what the Cowboys have after CD. And I would say he certainly is that.
I mean, listen, I heard people saying yesterday, are they the best tandem in the NFL, which is crazy. But CD's good enough, and their situation behind him was bad enough.
Yeah, you'd have to look at all the other. I think Minnesota might have a.
There's others that are better,
Yeah,
but
Addison and Jefferson or Higgins and Chase.
But I guess my point is
At least they're in
that
the conversation.
CD is so good, and the second guys were so bad that just putting Pickens in the mix might make him in that conversation.
So I was reading about this, and I thought this was funny. It says Pickens can be an issue when he's not getting the ball. He'll be in a contract year in 2025, playing for life-changing money after his trade is finalized. But first-year Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer's strength is culture building.
Yeah.
And the hope here is he'd be able to establish an environment in which someone such as Pickens will buy in and thrive. All right, number 1, do we know? He seems like a friendly guy. The media seems to really like him. He's a nice guy. He's not an asshole, Brian Schottenheimer. Do we know what his strengths and weaknesses are just yet? We haven't seen him in the foxhole with bullets flying.
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty good in drills here. But let's see what, like, we've seen nothing from him in-game at all. We don't know what a Brian Schottenheimer room is like because he's never been a coach. So we don't know that his strength is culture building. I think that's funny, number 1. Number 2, you have to then say, oh, okay, cool. The Brian Schottenheimer culture, that'll be what kind of a Wild West was he coming from? What kind of a crazy culture that...
The inmates running the asylum over there?
He was in a locker room run by Mike Tomlin. And that would be the ultimate place, you might think. We could... I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, they produced Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, so maybe somehow it's well. And then another thing is, when Pittsburgh gives up on a receiver, when Mike Tomlin gives up on a receiver, they don't usually turn into something. In fact, I found one that kind of did. They've let Mike Wallace go, Antonio Brown, and if you look at any of their
Boy,
Mike Wallace.
This is a list of guys you might remember.
Well, Mike Wallace was early 2010s, had a couple of really good years, over 1,000 yards receiving. Contract year a little lower. Then he went on to Miami and didn't really do much. Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he had to host 60 Minutes.
Antonio Brown was.
That didn't hit.
You gotta shoot.
Yep. Keep going.
Antonio Brown obviously was awesome. And looking at his numbers, dude, unbelievable. Like, he had a couple of years, 129 receptions and 136.
He was returning punts some of that time, too, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they were throwing him the ball all the time, too. 193 targets.
That's awesome.
But, he's catching them. So, tons of yardage. He was great. And, of course, once he left, he didn't do anything. 3 more years, and then he's out of the league. Juju Smith-Schuster, another guy that other teams got really excited about. Didn't do anything after he left. Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
If you remember that as being a hot name, fantasy name for a little while, right?
I was very excited about him. Well, it's something.
The one that really did turn out was Emmanuel Sanders.
Ah.
He left Pittsburgh and actually got better. He's the one guy. He had 626 yards, then 740 his last 2 years with Pittsburgh. Denver started really featuring him. He was their number one receiver. And 1,400 yards, 1,100, over 1,000, continued on with more good years. So that is the one guy that seems to have gotten away. Now, I will say this about George Pickens, if you want to get excited again. The quarterbacks he has worked with, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. So those are the guys he has had for the past 3 years.
Good Lord. By the way, what's their plan at quarterback this year? Anybody check that depth chart lately?
I believe
Aaron Rodgers.
We're hoping for Aaron Rodgers, and right now it seems like it's going to happen only because I don't know of any other suitors for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't know of any other available starting quarterbacks.
That's one of the things. You have to have a place where he could start.
Yeah, that's a trash list of quarterbacks for sure. So that's what you're hoping. But really you're hoping that it's just that his skill set matches perfectly with what the Cowboys need someone to do. And Dak
Which is?
Stretch the field for sure and beat man coverage. The Cowboys were awful against man coverage last year. And there's few I made this point to TC yesterday, and it might sound silly. There's few things that frustrate me more when watching football than someone who can't beat press coverage, because I couldn't. And I know how it feels, and it's like being in prison. And just watching the Cowboys receivers try to get off the line, and now they're 2 yards out of bounds because they don't have anybody that can beat anybody. Terp is too small. He can hide occasionally and find a soft spot, but they need somebody who will just run over a DB and keep running. And Pickens will do that.
He's kind of what I think you wanted Gallup to be.
Gallup was great. Gallup was really good at his peak at being that guy. Stretch the field.
Go win a one-on-one.
Go win a one-on-one. Would be willing to block. Pickens is kind of a boom or bust blocker. Have you seen those highlight reels? That's fun.
No.
He will not block downfield sometimes because he's afraid of the tackle like rolling him up.
He does a lot of whatever he wants to do.
Because that's how Tank Dell got hurt.
That's right.
Broke his leg?
I don't remember what it was, but
anyway, that was in Pickens' head last year.
The other thing is just people have these highlight tapes of he's, I don't know, figured out, but usually most corners are playing like in a squatted position up on you. And you can find highlight reels of George Pickens is doing like but I didn't know we couldn't do that, where he'll just shove them down. And then the play's over. It's like he's like, I don't know if anybody ever realized this, but you can just push that guy over because he's looking to run. And people, whoever wrote that article was interviewing some of the DBs on his team about it. And they're like, the guy's a weirdo. Like he's running routes that don't exist. Everything he does, it looks weird, but because of that, it kind of works.
Sounds like he gets vocal if he doesn't get the ball.
I think you can only do this because CD is such a pliable soul. I don't think you can have two maniacs.
The positive is that the spin would be it is his contract year. He's trying to show that he can, get in that $20 million range at least. Like that's for a second receiver now.
Yeah.
You'd be paying $20 million. The opportunities will be here because he is kind of like the other guy. He's been a number one, probably miscast as a number one. This might be perfect for him. Stable quarterback, stable number one receiver.
I mean, the only thing that I could see being a problem is it's not like, I get loud if I don't get the ball. And you don't know from reading a couple profiles and watching a couple interviews, but the dude is a loose cannon. Like, he thinks he's the best receiver in the league. Mm-hmm. And in an interview I read, he's just like, yeah, I play mad because it doesn't make sense that there are any plays where I'm on the field and I don't have the ball.
Look,
He's like, so I'm pissed off out there.
How is this always wide receivers?
I've said it a million times. It's because you have to run so much and nobody's paying attention to you. Like 90% of the time you're running for a lot, 20, 30 yards, and it's just like, oh, I'll run back and do that again. And for guys like that who's 6'3", 200, runs a 4.4, he calls himself like a creative player because that's what he looks like. He's thinking, every coach who doesn't throw me the ball is a moron.
I wonder what his steps are like after a game. You guys see Jordan Lewis tweet?
It was a big day.
Hilarious.
It was a fun day.
He's like, had something to do with
God wanted me in Jacksonville.
Yeah, clearly God wanted me in Jacksonville because that was the guy that yanked him down by his face mask at the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
After the Cowboys won?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not the only cornerback, or excuse me, the only receiver that J-Lou pissed off, but...
And not the only DB Pickens tried to fight.
That's true.
He was fined over $200,000 last year, or in 2023.
He probably wasn't making more than...
Now, was that by the Steelers or by the league?
It was a combination of both. There are a lot of taunting and fighting, but he'll miss a meeting on you. In fact, he was, 45 minutes late to the game against the Chiefs on Christmas?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. It's not that he'll miss a meeting on you. It's that you find out about it because he plays in Pittsburgh and gets fined. Dez was not on time to a single meeting in
That's a good point.
6 years.
I was going to ask you, did they basically trade for Dez Bryant?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that his peak is quite there, but
contested guy.
I don't think
attitude.
I don't think it's that far off.
Well, and Dez Bryant's peak was worth
the trouble,
whatever you had to deal with Dez Bryant.
But the only problem is he was the best receiver on the team. Like, as Pickens gets older, if they're winning, it'll be fine. But he's gonna think like, I mean, why can't I be the guy?
But is he an intense practice guy?
I think so. Like,
are we gonna have Dez would not let up during practice, and that's something we loved, and it, in theory, made the other players better. And
I have read differing reports on that, to be honest with you. But I'm
on what
the practice thing, like
about George
how
Pickens?
hard he goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like he might just not practice.
Yeah. But man,
well, Shoddy will take care of it.
It's culture. The combo of him and Micah, like, I can confidently say that I have a prominent space cadet on both sides of the ball on my football team now.
Same agent.
Who?
Did you see that?
Don't even know their name.
Oh, that's what Jerry said.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was very excited yesterday. I mean, I'm one day away from saying they really need to move a 2 or a 3 from a receiver, and I don't think they'll do it. And then they did it. Everyone on Cowboys social media seems to think, hey, there's 2 moves, because Jerry said we have 2 big moves that could happen. Well, Breece Hall. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Cowboys. They had a great draft once you add a receiver to it, and everything else in my sports life until Moose sucks. So
I thought our buddy Vach made a great point because he's in the same line. Now go get Breece Hall and you're a contender. And people are like, oh, you're getting too greedy. But he was quick to point out the Eagles drafted a 1 and traded for A.J. Brown and then added Saquon. Like, you don't make one move. You make all the moves.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, go get Breece Hall while you're at it.
The Cowboys, though, actually haven't really been all in.
No.
Over these years, and they could have. They traded Amari when they didn't need to. Like, the point is, you don't have to elevate CD, you don't have to trade Amari. Now you got 2 kind of number 1s. Maybe Amari had other stuff going on as well. Vax and all that. But
I can tell you this. I now look at Cowboys transactions as, will this make our watching parties more fun? George Pickens makes your watching parties more fun.
Yeah.
On the fun scale, the Cowboys stream gives him a thumbs up.
Let's I want to do the mailbag, and we're going to have to make a call for this sponsor, Blake. Okay. Are you prepared to do so?
Got it right here.
I've got a little breaking Pope news.
Breaking Pope news now.
We have a new Pope.
Trump?
It's an American.
Can you have an American Pope?
What was the guy's name from Jersey Shore?
Paulie?
Yeah, was it Paulie D?
Paulie D?
What do we got?
It's Habemus Popham.
American, huh?
He is going to take the name Pope Leo.
That's a weird bit.
The 4th.
You just get to pick?
Yeah, you just pick some mundane generic name?
Let's see. Do popes get to pick their name?
Yes.
You say yes? Are you Catholic, Amy? Or grow up that way? Or just a person who knows a single thing about the world? Interesting. Well, thanks, Clayton. That Pope breaking news is brought to you, I think, probably by Community Mechanical.
Yeah, let's make a phone call.
Okay.
Because I got a...
Let's dial this thing.
So Travis wanted me to call their winner on the air.
Winner of what?
A winner of... let's leave a message. Are we there?
Yeah, hang on.
Hello? It is possible. Hey, let's see. Who is this? Kevin Jemison. Kevin Jemison. You
KJ.
signed up for preventative maintenance in April with Community Mechanical. What was the website that they signed up?
CommunityDFW.com.
Correct.
And you are the winner of their 4 stars tickets, 4 lower level tickets, and a parking pass for Game 4.
Whoa! Look at that. Incredible.
On May 13th. When is that? That's probably coming up pretty soon. So hopefully it's this year. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Congrats,
People do
Kevin.
win.
So yeah, he
And his house isn't all hot.
He signed up for preventative maintenance with Community Mechanical, and he was entered into a drawing. And look at that. They will also give you. Do they give you a T-shirt? Oh, they give you some merch, I believe.
Yes.
If you end up getting an HVAC system from them or unit, they will give you a sit-in where you could, sit in on the show and watch your heroes do sports talk. It's amazing. But Community Mechanical.
Don't spell it out
This
like
whole
that.
read is on his voicemail.
What? Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot you're on the voicemail.
Hey, Kevin, I don't have to tell
Congratulations, dude.
Kevin, I don't have to tell you, but it's communitydfw.com or 469-667-7290. See you, Kev.
Bye, Kev.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hey, everybody. It's time to answer some of today's viewer mail.
Blake, are you engaging with the chat or just making notes?
Both?
Wow.
Samantha sent something.
Chat's live today.
My boyfriend Brian and I are fans of the pod.
Thank you.
He got me listening during the ticket era. She says, we are 24 weeks pregnant with an undoubtedly beautiful baby girl. And then she says, when you enter your Belichick era...
Listen, if the mom puts it on a T for you...
she will gladly be your Jordan.
Good.
Wow.
Grief.
LMAO. I am saving this as a written contract.
Yeah.
I believe.
Congrats.
I mean, you know how we talk about people's lines matching up? Like if Lindsay Lohan kept going down and I kept improving my life, maybe there'd be a point. Like for these people, like Dan's kind of like their Belichick. You know, you just scale it down a little bit, and to them, they're like, well, we want to learn how to be Dan, just like Dan wants to learn to be Belichick.
We're torn on the name of the baby, but we don't want you guys to help us pick the name because ever since Jake quit the bottle, I don't trust his baby naming judgment.
Has it slipped?
There's no chance. I've been calling him out left and right. That's why this lady's scared.
Something to monitor.
Okay.
Did you lose it?
But so her bid is the guy husband has a name and she's got a name, and she wants
names.
They're into. They're super competitive people. Our first date was Bryan Street Tavern Bar Trivia, and we're going to play 3 games to decide.
Oh, I love this.
She wants us to choose their 3 games.
Okay.
You can choose from backgammon, chess, dominoes, FC24 on PS5, which used to be called FIFA. Scrabble, Chinese checkers, Connect 4, Gin Rummy, Scattergories, and Guess Who. So 10 different things she wants us to pick, and she wants Blake to pick first, then Jake, then me. Maybe this is alphabetical. Maybe this is because Blake is the only true alpha.
First, thank you for knowing that. Second, it's a pretty easy decision on my part. One game in that list stands above all, and it's clearly Guess Who.
I just remember the cover.
It's a great game. That's my vote.
We'll go Chinese checkers.
China.
And I'm going to go Gin Rummy to make it kind of quick, because I don't want you to have to sit with a whole backgammon game and like kind of look up the rules on how to play back. Although they're probably into it.
I don't know how to play Chinese checkers. I just thought the board looked kind of occult.
Yeah.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
So she did give the name options.
And she doesn't want me to weigh in?
Well, you're going to weigh in, bro. She's just not going to take your...
Okay.
She's going to take it under advisement. His name, Reagan Audrey.
That's a boy or girl name? That's
These
a
are.
girl name.
This is a girl.
This is going to be Dan's.
Oh,
Jordan
right
Hudson.
on.
Reagan Audrey.
Boy, so you get
her name.
It's a pretty name.
You're going to end up marrying this person, and you get a say in the name? That's a lot of power.
Should be that way, though.
Reagan Audrey, and her name is Ellery James.
I like that one.
You like the Ellery?
It's a little bit out there, but Reagan Audrey's a pretty name, but it would just make me constantly think about like when the country ended effectively. And the other one, while a little weird, Ellery kind of sounds eloquent, so I like that one better. I don't want to have to think about like the air traffic control strike every time I look at my kid. Thank you, Amy. A woman of a certain age enjoys.
Let me do one more, and then I'll give it to you guys. This is from Will, and he sent a photo. Shout out to Kyle Cox, who had a second brain surgery success today. He's recovering and in good spirits. Remember this guy?
Yeah.
Or do you remember the one guy that just had a brain tumor removed? And he's a big listener of the show. We have a photo of him. He appreciated your note. Oh, I sent him a little card, a little handwritten note.
Nice, man.
He laughed so hard his nose started bleeding. Way to go, Dan. More everyone, less Jake's prayers because they didn't work last time.
Oh, damn.
So you see a picture of him wearing, so he just had surgery in his no puppet shirt.
What a G.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We love you, pal. I think we actually have two people maybe, though, that have been injured.
What if they fix...
We've had two brain injury guys?
Yeah.
We'll check.
Usually after your brain injury is when you subscribe.
Right.
You're like,
locked in.
Oh.
These guys are great. Play it all day.
These guys are so smart.
What if they fix the part of his brain that likes us?
Ooh, yeah, because like with child porn and stuff.
It's probably all in the same area.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that
it's a fine line between.
But I mean, it would
downloading
be
child porn.
Okay,
and
but
downloading
stay
our
with
show.
me though. Stay with me. If we have documented cases where people have received traumatic brain injuries or had a tumor, and the pressure of that or the injury resulted in changes in their behaviors, it is not entirely out of the question that someone could get in a car accident, then call 817 or 214 all threes and become a listener of our show due to their brain injury and a client of Frankel and Frankel.
Awesome.
If you can get hit by a car and wake up and love child porn or Chinese, you can wake up and love the Dumb Zone.
I've got a few.
214-333-3333.
This comes from
4817.
Travis,
Frankel.
who says, you guys are not noticing Dan is a damn hero.
Thank you, Travis.
Wonder how this is getting read.
Dan unknowingly did a military tactic when he disrupted the gas station robbery. It's called the OODA loop.
Clayton, before we get in, do you know this one?
Disrupting the observe, orient, decide, act cycle of an opponent, forcing them to restart the process and potentially regain an advantage. So he's saying Good job.
But it's also like kind of the plot of Mr. Bean.
So it's just lucky. So this guy, if this guy was actually ready to shoot and kill someone, I would be dead.
Yeah,
but since his plan was probably not that, like he did not want to walk out of there with a murder on his hands,
then
he had to
Well, just wait. Why don't we wait half an hour or go to another store? Yeah.
I've got 2 pictures to show you. Let's go with the bicycle one first, Clayton, because we had a conversation that kids are okay if you just let them. Like, I think your daughter and friends were killing minnows.
They were having a great time unsupervised in the outdoors.
Well, this kid has found a new way of transportation to high school, and it is this bike that you see on screen of the giant wheel.
Nice.
We used to have that guy in Victory Plaza.
Is that a unicycle or is there 2?
I don't know what you call it.
That's a unicycle. But
Okay.
although
No, it's an old-fashioned bike.
You're right.
The old-fashioned,
It
two,
is.
the
You
one
can see
little
the
tiny
little-
wheel?
Yeah.
Tiny wheel in the back and the ginormous wheel in the front that he's sitting
What
on.
do they call that?
A great bit.
Old bike.
Yeah.
It is a good bit.
It is like 1905 or something.
High wheeler.
A high wheel bicycle or a penny farthing?
That sounds better.
Man, in both...
He's got to chain that up at the bike rack.
In both college towns I lived in San Marcos and Denton, you had this guy. And you're
Yes.
like, I just used to always think to myself, is this guy getting butt?
Is he Stilts guy too?
Of course. Probably
yeah.
make... You need me to make some balloons? I'll tie him up for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. God,
Just
that all
on the
checks
spot.
out. That all checks out. The second picture is a follow-up of our DE ice cream flavors.
Yeah, we got some
woke
good
ice
ones.
cream flavors. Dear Uncle Twat Pocket. Here's
Oh, that one offends me.
2 more ice cream flavors to celebrate Black History Month. The first is Martin Luther King cake.
Yeah.
And the second one, throw this one up. This one is really good. Brownie versus the Board of Education.
Sweet justice will be served. That's really good. Michael Snap
Thank
weighed
you,
in
Justin,
with
for
a few.
that.
Alexandria Oreo Cortez, that at least keeps the AOC theme together. But,
Love it.
There we go.
But Mango Unchained. I stopped down, had to laugh at that one in the car. Let's see. Remember when we talked...
No.
By we, I mean me, about how I think I could kill a cow?
Yeah.
I mean, the reviews and the comments are rolling in, and they're not on my side.
No.
Neither are scientists and experts.
No.
Thus far.
No.
Or veterinarians.
Not a single person, really, other than me and my will to win. So Day One David, who's a Marine, says, I heard you think you could take a cow. Let me stop you right there. Back when I was stationed in Spain with Fast Company, which is like the Marine Corps' global terrorism unit, like a elite unit, we were playing global doorman for embassies. We were doing a field op in the King of Spain's land. So I stumble on a few of our guys standing around this unit of a cow that's gotten its front hooves sunk deep into a mud pit. The orders were clear. Don't mess with the cows. Don't shoot them. Don't pet them. Don't even think about them. Naturally, we started trying to rescue it. After about 20 minutes of grunting, slipping, and arguing, someone floats the idea of humanely putting it down. That turns into 2 yoked-up Marines grabbing the horns and trying to drown it in muddy water like it's some kind of barnyard mob hit. Jake, this cow would not die. It was stronger than pride, stronger than 2 gym rat lance corporals with full commitment. It fought like it had seen war. Maybe it had. The point is, if you think you can kill a cow, you need a Crane divine intervention or your brother Roof Snow Joe himself.
So that was like a already dying cow.
Yeah, in mud with like 6 Marines
Was
around it,
fighting
just
for
beating
its life.
it.
Okay.
And they're like, just die, and it won't.
Are you ready to give in?
Yes.
Okay.
I have come around on the idea that it would simply outlast me. Brent says Dan was correct. I'd like to hear Amy's thoughts
Thank
on
you.
this. When talking about younger hots making themselves look older. My wife worked for a company that sold Botox fillers. She once showed me a video of a plastic surgeon assessing the work done to a number of reality show hots. He was asked to guess their ages, and his guesses were all 35 to 40 for a group of women who are actually in their mid-20s. His explanation is that women in their mid-20s have learned what they think is hot from shows like The Kardashians and Real Housewives, and they're doing stuff to themselves that makes them look like that, making them look older, because these women are trying to look younger, and there's some weird like horseshoe theory happening here.
Okay.
He says, as a result, neither group doing this looks natural or their own age. It's an interesting one.
Yeah. I guess it is a way. It's like I used to say about Bob going bald when he was 25. When you see Bob when he's 45, you're like, you look great, because you look exactly the same. And these girls will as well. You haven't aged at all. You look just like you did when you were 25, because when you were 25, you looked 45. And then when you're 65, you kind of look 45. Right?
Yeah,
maybe that's it.
That's the key.
Just embrace what you have.
That's the key.
Yeah.
What do you know? You're divorced.
Thanks, Dan.
Used up goods.
You know how to stay together.
Let's see here. Oh, we were talking about Paige Beckers, and it is Paige Beckers.
Okay.
There's no you.
Bukers.
We heard from Tom. We heard from Eric. She does have a girlfriend. Her name is Ozzy Fudd.
Oh, she's a lady. I didn't know. I thought
Ozzy Fudd.
I didn't know she might have a boyfriend.
When after I'd said girlfriend, and you said okay, I was confused. Yeah,
no. Like I was reading today, like Caitlin Clark has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I was like, huh.
Paige has a girlfriend who is her teammate at UConn.
I would have gone the other way around. I would have said Paige has a boyfriend and Caitlin Clark has a girlfriend.
Not me.
Really?
No, because again, Midwest. That's not exactly exclusionary. Chapel Roan's pretty lesbian, but there's something. I don't know how to say this, but like, so I said something the other day about like, it's interesting to me the way Paige talks, and somebody was like, she does have a black stepmom.
Okay.
And she just seems like she just had. So, I guess what I'm saying is typically in my interactions with female athletes, the more likely they are to be like hip-hop-ish, the more likely they are to be lesbians.
Interesting.
And that's Paige.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking I'm being sexist or something,
Suck it on, chili dough.
I just want everybody to know that for a long time I thought Blake would have a boyfriend, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
And for some reason, Dan has this weird deal where he tells guys later, like he did Clayton too, like, man, I thought you were gay. And they're like, okay.
I don't think I thought Clayton.
What did you think?
About Clayton?
There was some situation where we came up, something came up, and you were like, well, I don't know.
I don't know. But look at Blake now. Like, you're looking at him with that mustache.
I know.
Now, like, oh, no. He's definitely not gay.
Let's see here. Oh, here's another ice cream flavor. Chalk her up.
Okay.
You don't think that's great for lock her up?
Lock her up. Chalk her up.
We were talking about Rich Eisen recently, a couple weeks ago, and I just said, look, I don't have a problem with him. I just don't think I could be in a room with Rich Eisen. And
why?
Jameson explained why. I don't watch Frasier either, but your comment the other day about how you don't think you could be in the same room with Rich Eisen very long got me thinking Rich Eisen has big Niles energy.
Frasier's brother.
Same guy.
Like,
just up
know-it-all?
Yeah.
Kinda?
Yeah.
A little above you. That may result from, I think, the world was a bit puzzled when he left ESPN at first. Like, wait, you're leaving ESPN, the worldwide leader, the number, that was in their heyday. They were on the top of the world. And that for like the NFL Network didn't exist. Like, you're going to be like, it's going back to basic cable and you were just on the big stage and now you're just going to this little thing. Who would ever be on a bigger platform and then go to a smaller platform with a fervent fan base? That's what Rich Eisen's idea was, and in the end, he's now probably looking around like, That was a bad idea, huh? I could just be Anish, whatever the Sports Center hosts are now. They're like nothing. They're a dime a dozen.
That's true.
Like, he left at the very right time. Like, all those early Sports Center anchors kind of got that springboarded them somewhere. Or maybe they just were that talented that they could handle it.
All that goodwill.
I think it's both, but this also calls to question the curious case of Craig Kilborn. What happened?
Wow.
Like, he was my hero, dude.
Well,
like, he's over the Daily Show.
His mistake wasn't leaving ESPN because he not only did the Daily Show, but then he gets a late night talk show.
Like, what's your memory of Kilborn?
You get a late night talk show.
None? Dude, he was a...
And if you do well at it, you could just be doing that for 20 years, and I thought he was good.
Like, maybe he's a bad guy. I don't know. I've never heard stories about him, but, man...
Do you know who he is? He was in Old School.
The dad... Why don't you shut the hell up? The dad of the...
Did you see Old School? Mm-hmm. He was the boyfriend of...
He's hitting on...
Oh, okay.
The
waitress and walks in. And, okay. All right.
I'm going to give you guys my inaugural girlfriend's dad email.
Okay, good. I've been waiting on these.
So I just started thinking about this, like I said, the other day because there's a time in your life where you have to interact with like a lot of adult men in about the most awkward situation you can possibly imagine. And the random things you remember from all these guys you meet, like, again, I remember one of my girlfriend's dads was really into Bob Dylan and like Woody Guthrie. And his family probably bought him a Bob Dylan tie, like on every holiday. And just like these little notes about these guys I remember. JR says, my high school girlfriend's dad, Joe, was very different from mine. He was a white-collar guy, like an engineer. He was a drinker. My dad never saw him drink once. And this is where it gets weird. He said, one Saturday night, the girlfriend and I were in the basement slamming.
Sex.
There were about 3 rubbers piled up on the floor that I was too dumb or lazy to flush. Joe somewhat quietly came downstairs that night, an unusual move for him when I was over. He walked through, very obviously saw my teenage sexual prowess as evidence, and went on about his business. He never mentioned it, and he never treated me any differently. Peace be upon you, JR. That's how I want it to go when I'm a dad. I'm not saying I want to just turn a blind eye to things, but I just don't want to... I don't want to be like the shotgun sitting there dad. I think you just want to be the stay out of it dad. Now, it appears that this guy was staying out of it because he was a drunk. I've kind of burned that shit, whatever that means, but I don't know. I guess you don't have like a ton of experience with this, but I wonder what the normal move now is for dad with girlfriend, boyfriend in the woke world. Like, are you supposed to still be like, don't touch my daughter?
I doubt it.
I don't know what the tone of this is now and how it's shifted.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because for a long time, it was like, that's what it was. You just knew your girlfriend's dad was an asshole and he was going to be mean and overplay his, like, country cool hand. And you're like, come on, man. But do people still feel like they have to do that?
Well, they also say kids are having so much less sex in high school these days.
Yeah.
Less drinking, less sexing.
More sueying.
More suey. Do you have any gummy thoughts? I got a couple of those. It's brought to us by Early Bird CBD.
Big news.
Bird.
What?
New promo code. So if you use the DZ15, you can use the new promo code to get another discount.
DZ20.
Oh, okay. Up to 20%. How about that?
It's really just 20%. So like it would be
Well,
weird
it
if
was
somebody
15 Don't even say up to.
was
It was
selecting
15 last time.
Oh, it's gone up to.
It's up to 20%. You're right. It is increased to 20%.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
This
the
is a good
CBD. This has THC in it.
It
so
does,
if you get
2.5
drug tested at work,
milligrams.
bad bit.
Bad bit. But if you want to relax, you want to have yourself a good time, put a smile on your face, do it with Early Bird. The promo code, as Blake said, is DZ20 at earlybirdcbd.com. These are the real deal. They pride themselves on customer service, too. They're going to answer the phone when you call them. Why is that funny? I don't know. They put it in the copy.
Why do you call them?
I don't know. Just everything going okay down there?
Man, these gummies are awesome.
I think they work.
Call them and give them your gummy thoughts.
Yeah, call and weigh in on Pope habeas corpus or whatever at earlybirdcbd.com and DZ20. Yeah, call them and be like, is that smoke? I think there's a Pope.
So Eliseo emailed. Eliseo feels like an ethnic name, right?
I've run into Eliseo before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He was in pickup line, and I was walking out of my kids' elementary school, and he was listening to the show that I had left from 20 minutes ago. It was really cool.
Okay, well, this is a racially charged email.
Ooh. Oh, no.
And it's titled, the subject line is Gummy Thought. If black men got their big peens because of slavery...
Okay.
I don't know that is a thing we can.
Hang on.
That's not an if this then that.
Well, again, I said this is a racially charged email, but
Let's go with him,
Eliseo.
though. Let's go with him.
Hear him out.
It is not from me.
In this case, this is some sort of evolutionary reparations.
Would they go back?
Yeah.
To have no slavery, and now they have black privilege. Instead of your white privilege, Dan, would they trade it? But they all have to have your peen, Dan. The white man peen. Would you do it?
Let's make a poll.
This is probably a different guy than the one I met at the elementary school. It's probably a different Eliseo.
He says, anyhow, just signed up with Ownwell, supporting you guys. Love y'all.
Nice. Thank
what
you.
a hilarious tag to that.
Thank
right.
you.
The whole thing is hilarious.
I don't know, man. I'm going to leave that one to you, E. God's just like, listen, I'm sorry.
I got a gummy thought. Do all living things sleep?
No. I don't think plants sleep.
Well, like flowers do close and open.
Is that sleep, though?
Yeah, it's not sleep.
It's not sleep? I mean, what is sleep? It's just a period of, like, re-energizing, recharge. Like, we don't die for 8 hours or...
While flowers don't sleep
6.
in the same way humans and animals do, many plants do exhibit daily rhythmic behaviors called circadian rhythms.
What's
so they
that?
Just open and close with the sun. The circade.
What's circadian rhythms with us? Is that
sleep and
Yeah.
awake?
Yeah, and you know.
it deals with the sun. Okay, when I was going to France, I think I was hearing about that.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
got to get your.
That's like why they want you to go to
So
sleep
it's-
at the same time.
Is
and
this
all that
more
sort of stuff.
real than grounding, or is grounding real?
Grounding is 100% real.
Well, you guys made fun of me about it.
First of all, I was in rehab and in no position to be like, what's this weird new age stuff? No, I think it's real. Dude, I heard about it the other day. People buy sheets that they plug in. You can get like a grounding sheet.
Or you get a grounding mat.
A mat, basically. And you,
and
plug
you lay
it
it under you, yeah.
Yeah, and you're just charging up. You're getting juice all night.
You never got into that.
No, I
You thought about it.
I looked at some
Shoes?
grounding shoes.
Yeah.
We're still thinking about it. I'm
Yeah.
doing my research.
Yeah.
I'm doing my research online. Also, I have from Jaybird. Was thinking a gummy thought about the ageless LeBron James. Is Bronny on the Lakers squad just to be his father's blood boy? They travel together. They have a full medical staff to perform transfusions. As Jake said, there's no faster transition player than LeBron, and he's 40. Never forget, never punt. From Jaybird.
Man, I don't know. The two responses I have to that are, I think it's probably pretty likely that LeBron has done something that's skirting the rules, but I don't care because it's awesome to watch a guy dunk who's older than me, like in the NBA. And the second thing is, I have to stop learning about all the stuff that rich people do to stay young and virile and full of life.
I thought you wanted to learn it so you could do it.
I want to learn it, but I'm like not that kind of money.
Oh.
Like I don't the stuff you have to really pay for, like whatever real rich people are doing, that I now have enough money to know about. But like Blood Boy, it sounds like a joke, a Silicon Valley thing. People are getting like blood transfusions left and right to just feel better. I don't know about full transfusion, but I just hear about like, oh, I'm going to get my blood spun up at Cooper Clinic, and I feel great afterward. You ever done something like that?
No, but that's my gym.
Really? They do stuff like that, right?
They do all kinds of
Blood
shit.
spun.
That's the funniest clinic.
By far. By far.
All right. Do you want to do a big announcement before we do a break?
Sure.
Let me see here. Let me turn this off. And, yeah. So it is big announcement time, Blake. Are you aware of what we're doing?
I think so.
Okay. Well, here's what we're announcing.
The Dumb Zone generic summer event.
Okay, this is a song. And a flyer.
Want the ultimate. Gotta be willing to pay the ultimate price.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
We're having an event.
Yep.
We're having a big summer event.
That is right. Did you need more detail?
The date?
The Dumb Zone generic summer event. June 7th, Saturday night. Jimmy Nelson comedy. We need the Beehive to activate. Live bands, Grady Spencer, Prophets and Outlaws.
My friend.
Do I need to say any more?
No.
But if you did, I'd certainly love to hear it in song. It's fun, isn't it?
Where did I say it was? Did it say where it was?
I don't know. I'm still waiting on that part.
Oh, I don't know if that's in the lyrics.
Okay, so it's at the Shacks at the local. That is at Austin Ranch. This keeps going.
No, Saturday night.
Where? In the colony?
A little rushed, but yeah. Yeah, it's a cool spot.
So actually, we wanted to. It was like 420. We did a 420 event last year, but we thought that was childish. So this year, we were like, let's do an event on 6/9, and then it turns out 6/9 is like a Monday night, and that wouldn't be a good time for an event.
Suboptimal.
So we did the closest Saturday to 6/9. If you want to know,
And if you put like a 6 next to a 7, there's something going on there. If you think about it.
Well, 6 was afraid of 7. Do you know why?
Yeah, I do. So the event is free.
Do you, Blake?
No.
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9.
Oh, okay.
He kind of laughed at that a little bit, low key.
Yeah, it's good.
So yes, the Shacks at Austin Ranch. It's a cool spot. It's owned by or run by our buddy Jerry Elliott, who had Scruffy Duffy's and Mucky Duck and all that. No word yet on whether or not he will be supplying us with a hotel room like he once did for Groobs after the St. Patrick's Day party.
We should demand that.
He just bought Groobs a hotel.
It's a really cool looking place.
It's so sweet. It's perfect for like our size of an event.
Outdoor stage. They got a bar inside. They got tons of food. They got a dog park right there.
Come play games to determine the name of your kid. All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we got buddies. Prophets and Outlaws are our buddies.
They have a new album you can go check out. It came out last Friday.
Grady Spencer and The Work are our buddies. Jimmy Nelson's our buddy, so we'll be out there. It is free. Did you mention that? That's probably should be number one in the copy.
Gratis.
It is free. So please,
it's going to be a party.
If you can mark it on your calendar, because it's the 6-9 event. So we want to do 6 to 9 ?
You don't know what we're
not
gonna do.
like it's supposed to go till 9, but who knows with these guys? They might go to 9:28. They might. We might be there all night. I might be there till the last DZ P1 leaves.
I'm very, very pumped. Very nervous. But if you'd like to be involved from a commercial standpoint, you can contact us at sales@dumbzone.com. Very simple. sales@dumbzone.com. Your name here.
Yeah, cool. So, thanks to Jerry Elliott. Thanks to everybody involved.
Let's party.
June 7th. It is
after party. Oh, cool.
The Dumb Zone, generic summer event.
All right. Take a break.
The Dumb Zone. Franco and Franco.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
You know what I forgot to do? I should have mentioned it during the big announcement. We could pimp Lone Star Beer because we made sure with the Shacks, or the local, at the Shacks at Austin Ranch, I said to Jerry, if you guys don't serve Lone Star Beer, we're not going.
Non-starter.
And he said, well, sir, doesn't Trump like doing that? So I want to do that. Sir. People call me sir.
With tears in his eyes, he said, there will be Lone Star, sir.
He said, we already have Lone Star. What are you talking about? Why would we not have Lone Star Beer? Is there another beer? Is what he said. I said, actually, I don't know, because that's all we have here in the den of inequality.
And in Texas.
So Lone Star Beer, I said, let me ask you this, though. Throw you a curveball. Lone Star Light? And he nodded over the phone line. He said, yes, of course we have Lone Star Light. So,
no puppet.
Lone Star Beer, thank you for sponsoring the Dumb Zone. Thank you for being out at our summer event as well.
Get you a shirt.
Yes, LoneStarBeer.com, the national beer of Texas. They're available at Globe Life Field in Section 101, and they have awesome merch. Promo code DUMBZONE21. You get 21% off your merchandise. Look what Jake is wearing.
This is a slick shirt. I love this one.
A Lone Star Beer shirt. I'm wearing a hat. So thanks for the products, Lone Star Beer. And you know what? Just thanks for being a part of Texas. For 140 years. I think they might have invented Texas.
Yeah.
Was there a Texas before that?
No.
Nope.
Am I petering out here?
Yep. Kind of a little dribble at the end.
Okay. Well, I actually wanted to segue that into this.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in Twitter.
And we actually have a sponsor for this. It is called One Day Doors. And you can get doors installed in your house in just one day. All the interior doors in your house, they could replace if that is what you want. You should have them out and just take a look at what you got, because you probably have hollow doors. These doors aren't that. They are solid doors. They keep the noise out or the noise in. They will replace every interior door in your house in just one day. They have 3D measuring technology, makes a digital blueprint of your existing frames. They custom cut the doors to fit in the frames. They'll do the work in the truck outside on the curb. They'll bring them in. It's awesome.
Listen,
they're incredible.
It's a little late for Mother's Day this weekend, but if you're like me, you keep a little gift page on your notes, right? Like just ideas for the next one, be it Mother's Day, be it a birthday. How about some new doors? For a gift.
That would be very unique.
It would be super unique. You might need 2 of them. You're going to pay for one with onedaytexas.com/promo30. It's a great gift idea. I don't know. You might consult her about the colors or something first, but it's a good gift idea.
940-969-4790 as well.
I got a couple today in Twitters for you. One of them is kind of like self-generated, I would say, because we were talking about the school board election in Grapevine. There was a woman who was up for re-election, who was a conservative hardliner, shall we say, and she narrowly lost her board seat in this most recent election. So she served 3 years, and like many of her Christian nationalist cell phone company compadres, lost in this most recent round of elections all over DFW. But so when I mentioned this lady, and I was aware of her because she's not hard to be aware of online, but once we started talking about her, people were like, hey man, she was on a reality TV show like 20 years ago, you have to check it out. And I'm a sucker for, I don't think we properly remember how insane early 2000s reality TV was. Like when we first got it, I mean, we've played some of them where they'd put somebody on TV and the whole game was centered around like this woman's dad was like a pedophile. And they're like, Kurt's like, oh, he told her. It's like these people's life is over. Like reality TV just, it was different. And one of those shows that was unhinged was Wife Swap. Now, we've done Celebrity Wife Swap with Vern Troyer, where Vern Troyer and Heinz Ward swapped wives, and it was a chaotic scene.
So when Chappelle did it, it was like a spoof of this show.
Correct.
It was just spares.
Yeah, and you might have gathered from the Vern Troyer episode, although with him, really any pairing is going to seem extreme, but they try to find like awkward situations. So Tammy Nakamura is married. She's a white lady. She's married to a Japanese guy. I believe they live in Southlake, and he's a plastic surgeon. And the family that they get linked up with is a black family. So as you can imagine, hilarity ensues. And so I cut it down to just a couple minutes because it's just quintessential early 2000s television. It's kind of race baiting. It's just great. Let's enjoy, and we can stop and start it, I think, if we need to, Clayton. So you've got the black mom at like a pool party in Southlake in the backyard just getting hammered.
The party relax.
Can you pump that up?
You know, if Tammy hang out with all you girls, yeah. Guys, I'm pretty sure he's having a good time.
Now we go to Tammy, the only white person in a black home where she has put on country music, and everyone's bored.
At the party, it was like everyone just sitting around, everybody's just sitting down because of the country music. There's nobody, I don't know anyone that like country music. The country music, I don't know if that worked out.
So obviously
I was kind of agitated. This is not the way we party, so I'm like, okay, this is a party, and everything is kind of solemn, you know.
Playing Jenga.
Now they made this kid knit just to show you how bored they are. And now we're going to go back to the party in Southlake. Hey! She's doing Jell-O shots, and the black lady is just like, oh, I got all my new best friends.
James Brown, I feel good.
Just hammered.
Good jumping there.
So this is the lady 20 years ago?
25 years ago. All right, you get the idea. But yeah, this apparently, just imagine that this was like a mom of your friend.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard from probably 30 or 40 of those people in the last 2 weeks that are like, I went to school with her kids, and we could not get enough of this. Like your mom trades families on TV. The talk of the school. I saw something on Twitter yesterday. This is the Byron Scott one, Clayton. I don't know how they select photos for news stories, but whenever one just fits perfectly, I really feel like you should tip your cap to prod assistant or whoever it was. Byron Scott is in some trouble, former Lakers coach and player. The tweet says, 38 years ago, the Lakers filmed an instructional video at an L.A. school. Byron Scott, 26 at the time, took a 15-year-old student into a janitor closet and tried to have sex with her. She alleges in a lawsuit filed last week. Scott says he thought she was 18. And the photo, he's doing like the thumb to mouth, I don't know. It's the like it looks
18 to me.
It looks like they searched Byron Scott thinking, is she old enough? And found a photo of him just, not sure.
And is that like... So, okay. You were asked to go to a high school to speak to students, and you decided to bang an 18-year-old in the class. Okay, good. That's fine then.
Yeah.
No problem there. That sounds great. That is exactly why you were brought in.
I thought it was just another one of these
like, even if he was
19-year-olds
20.
that hangs out in high school.
But even if he was 20.
Like, what would her role have been as not student, but
just
19?
Famous person coming in? No, but if she was a student and she was 18. Like that, he's now kind of, I guess you are, the argument is, look, I thought it wasn't illegal.
Right.
Because we're beyond whether you should have been trying to bang someone at a high school.
Didn't we talk about this yesterday when you thought you got away with a crime?
Yeah, that guy who was in Mexico instructing scuba.
This happened almost 40 years ago.
Is he saying right now that like today when you're informing me, oh my gosh, I thought that girl was 18 that had sex with me?
That I don't know. I didn't get past the very funny picture that they found. Like, they couldn't get one of him yelling or playing. They had to get one of him deciding something.
Yeah. Did you see the thing where it's you got to pick one? Would you rather be last in line against Bonnie Blue or with Bonnie Blue? She's the lady that slept with 1,000 dudes in a day. 1,000 guys. You're last. Or you're first in line versus the gorilla.
Last in line for Bonnie Blue.
Yeah, that's probably an easy one.
What?
This is very $100,000 or $1 million or Heather Locklear.
Have sex with Bonnie Blue or get killed by a gorilla?
Yeah, but you're number 1,000.
Well, so I mean,
I guess getting killed is all right. You're even just in the mix with the gorilla at all.
Now, if you really wanted to make it interesting, you would say you're number 1,000 and no one has used a condom, and neither will you. Now it might be a little more like,
or the gorilla.
You're getting killed by the gorilla.
Like that's a guarantee. You're saying.
What's the?
But
positive
I'm with 100
here?
other guys.
What's the positive? You whip the gorilla's ass?
No, there's two negatives. You just have to choose.
This is not
the lesser
good.
of two evils.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, F me. I've screwed the Today in Twitter segment.
We have not talked about the Pirate fan video, the Pittsburgh Pirates fan video.
Which the Pirates today fired their manager. Who would be?
I don't know.
Oh, that was last year bet.
I'm not.
You're out of the game.
My arm's not warmed up. Who was it?
Derek Shelton.
Ah, yes.
So this happened.
This will get me into the game.
This happened a couple.
That's something you could see at our generic summer events.
Dan,
Come
do the
see
manager's
Dan
pick.
name every baseball manager.
Listen, if you want
on command.
Do you want to sponsor Dan naming every baseball? Do you want to sponsor Dan starting a fire? Sales at dumbzone.com. So this was April 30th. And you've probably seen the video by now. There was a video from, he's in the right field stands. It was a video from like the first base side across the park. But now there's new video. And, of course, the first thing people thought was like, this guy had to be hammered. There were comments and posts on Reddit of like, I know this guy. And, he was blackout. He's at the hospital. I know people who are around him. And right now, it doesn't really look like any of that is the case. He is showing signs of recovery. He's still in the hospital. But it does look now like he's going to recover. But if you watch the new video, I don't think the guy was drunk at all. You can watch it and tell me what you think. I think he just had a rail seat and he jumped up too fast And his forward momentum just carried him forward.
Just received new video showing
Like he's just excited?
Yeah. Jesus, Amy.
He almost died, Amy.
He might not make it. It does look real. He looks like a crash test
He jumped
dummy.
into the air, apparently celebrating a play. As he came down,
it looks fake on the
his
bottom, but if you
abdomen
see,
hit the railing, he
just
over,
jumps
falling
up,
down
but he gets
onto the
too
warning
high,
track.
and then he
Well,
gets
it comes
caught
as we're
in the
learning
half and
Markwood
half,
is making steps toward
half
recovery.
over,
Family
half
members say
behind,
took
and he
his
flopped
first
over.
steps since the accident.
Like
He
it's almost
remains
like
in
he
the
didn't
hospital
know
with
his
broken
own
neck,
athleticism.
collarbone, and back.
And he was not drinking.
It doesn't. I mean, he doesn't look impaired, and it's not in any of the news stories. I mean, he is shirtless at a baseball game, but you can just see he just rockets up so fast.
Sorry. I hadn't seen it.
Okay.
Witnesses around in the section says the man was drinking pretty profusely, which is why he was not wearing a shirt.
I mean, but that to me doesn't look like something you did because you were drunk. I don't know. It just looked like the guy jumped up and made a mistake.
The falling part is because you were drunk.
What is
not having balance?
A single to right field make you jump for joy like that?
Weren't you just telling me a story when we were out at the Byron about a man who once fell after
yeah, I've told that story before.
having quite a few drinks?
Yeah,
which was you.
There's a lot more than that going on, but yeah, I fell out of one of those nice porta potties at a music festival once. They're way too. It's too tall. Those step downs, like on the way out of it, that they fold out.
Yeah.
I just missed one,
okay.
and that's steel, brother.
How's Paul Skeens doing?
Fantastic.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just happy to see it.
All right, I'm going to give you one more.
He's got a sweet mustache too.
He does.
I'm going to give you one more video. So,
can you look at Blake and just not think the word mustache? Like, it's enveloping my whole brain here.
Yeah, I think of.
Do you want me to shave it?
No.
We can't handle that right now. We need it.
Would you keep it through June 7th?
Yes.
So we've had an insane NBA playoff so far. We touched on the Celtics loss earlier. The Celtics had a 98% win probability game 1, lost. 99 game 2, lost. Thunder had a 98% win probability game 1 and lost. Cavs, 98% win probability game 2 and lost. What's the vibes in Cleveland, Dan?
They got to be really bumming out. I haven't talked to my buddy. But, yeah, you were feeling so good heading into these playoffs.
And
like,
now
this
Boston's
is
down
really
2-0.
Right, this is your opportunity.
Well, the other the fun series.
Could Rick Carlisle manage his way? Like, if they get to the Western Conference Finals, they will have had more Western Conference Finals.
The East?
Excuse me, the Conference Finals.
Yeah, they'll have more than
his tenure with the Mavs.
That's wild.
Because he only got there once.
So one of the interesting storylines to wrap up sports in the NBA is that Jimmy Butler is a warrior now in this weird, like, 2048 sim of the NBA we've run, where Buddy Hield and Jimmy Butler are doing joint press conferences with the Warriors. But apparently Buddy Hield is quite the goofball, and Jimmy's Jimmy. So they're up there together last night, and they created a lot of viral moments because they're both goofy. But I wanted to play you this so you could enjoy the athletes enjoying themselves, and then you tell me the point at which you think a media guy ruined it. It's my favorite game.
I mentioned that you two guys were kind of going back and forth in the huddle even. Do you feed? I mean, we've
might have to back it all the way
seen
up.
you guys go back and forth. You're doing it right now.
Action why we going back and forth.
Why were you going back and forth?
Action why we going back and forth.
Let's do that.
Draymond mentioned that you two guys were kind of going back and forth in the huddle even. Do you feed? I mean, we've seen you guys go back and forth. You're doing it right now.
Action why we going back and forth.
Why were you going back and forth?
Because when you know what, I'm not going to say exactly what I say in the locker room, but when I got a mismatch in the post, don't cut. Stay on the perimeter.
If you got a mismatch, you ain't gonna score the ball.
I am going to score the ball. I can't score the ball when you cut into my space. You're a shooter. You're not even a cutter.
Oh, fun banter.
You saw what happened when you shot a layup in the first quarter? Smokey Robinson. That's exactly what you did.
It's a good line.
Yep.
Use the backboard, too. Exactly.
Do you guys feed off of this, though? I mean, is it like when you can do this, does it translate to what happens?
Yeah, don't interrupt. They were just in the middle of.
I respect Buttard so much because he knows.
They were in the middle of a viral moment.
I'm saying.
My name is Buddy.
But that's short for Buttard. He knows what I'm saying is always towards
but they have a thing rolling. It's fun.
I like it. Are they doing this every game?
This is the first I had been made aware of it, but they went for 10 minutes last night just messing with each other.
This
back
is
and forth.
C-Web in the glove, brother.
It kind of did feel like that.
Yeah.
But do I need, the white basketball beat writer to jump in and be like, do you guys really feed off of your friendship? Like, just let them roll.
Yeah, dude.
Let them do their thing.
That was great.
There's a lot of it. They're a little duo. So, Steph's out. The NBA's a wild. Jokic is coaching.
Wait, what?
They didn't show Denver's coach the other night like the whole game. It was just Jokic in the huddle.
Who is he?
He's been the coach for 3 weeks.
Right,
so
I know.
I can't remember his name. Yeah. It's just a very, very weird season. Period.
Shall we do the news?
Let's go.
And the news has a special sponsor, Jake, if you would look at the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that for me to read or you?
Why don't you read it?
Oh. I guess I got to go look at the thing then. It is brought to us by... I know it's Tito's, but I wasn't ready. Tito's handmade vodka.
Yeah, why don't I handle this? The news is brought...
Now it's in front of me.
Sorry. Don't yell at me, please. Not right before the news.
You want me to read it?
Somebody read it. Amy.
I want you to read the thing at the end. Okay? Tito's handmade vodka, America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc. Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Does a good job, dude.
The news brought to you by Tito's Handmade.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
That was a great spot. Overall.
We Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, we will not, unfortunately, be the judges of that. A 32-year-old man still on the loose.
The Lamb.
32-year-old Trevor McEwen. I don't really have an update for you, but I'm going to do this story every day and just say this guy's still out there. Frankly, given that he was a murder suspect, and I was assuming that meant they have someone keeping an eye on you, I'm a little surprised we're on day 4 of this. Kind of impressed.
Yeah. First of all, just cutting off an ankle monitor seems like a tough thing. I wonder if they're allowed to monitor your internet usage while you have an ankle monitor, because I think that'd be the time you're searching how to cut off an ankle monitor.
Yeah, I know, like...
Is there a YouTube video for that? Because there's that's my bit. Is it everybody's bit? Anytime I have to do anything, let's just go to YouTube. Oh, man, my coffee pot's dirty. Well, what if I go to YouTube and just figure out how to clean it?
At this point, I have accepted that I will be attending my kids' weddings when I'm 70, and I will still be watching that same damn 2-minute video of that guy doing it's that blue tie. I can hear his voice in my head. It has 28 million views. It's just half the free world every night is like, all right, this guy again. If it's not ChatGPT, then yeah, it's YouTube. So yeah, he is still on the loose. He cut it off at 5:33 Monday morning. What I was going to say is you oftentimes hear of people going to the library to do some browsing.
You can see it on YouTube. Yeah. Just in case you ever get an ankle monitor.
They believe that...
Should they make it like a neck monitor so everybody kind of knows? Like just a big thing.
It's like a dog cone.
Just something, yeah, right? It's you're not impeded on living, but everybody's going to know it's a scarlet letter that you're wearing this big thing. Oh, look at, clearly this guy's going to be on trial soon. Like ankle monitor, you can kind of just mix with society. Nobody knows.
Well, I think that's the point. You know, they want you to be able to live, I would think, somewhat normal. I want to put this on the. I want to play some bets here. Like, I'm surprised this guy's still going. Like a lone guy. Not like he escaped with 3 prisoners or something and they had a getaway.
This is the way, though.
That's true. There's no
one can turn on you.
Yeah.
Again, he had plenty of time to kind of plan and prepare. They let him out with this ankle monitor on. Here he is, gallivanting about.
Let's see. A Dallas deputy marshal shot and killed a coyote this week. Aggressive coyote, of course. They have to label it that way.
Yeah.
He was reaching for his...
For PETA.
He was reaching for his waistband. This was around the populated area of the Katy Trail. So, pretty ballsy move to just... you got to be pretty confident in that sidearm to just take out a coyote at any distance in a crowded area.
You say it was a cop?
Yeah.
Off-duty cop?
No.
On-duty cop? On Segway cop?
I think it was probably not that far off.
Is a cop ever off-duty? Let's ask your stepdad.
Are we?
Kind of no.
I know people think that's silly, but it's kind of the deal. You're never at work. You're never off work.
Is Shane Doan going to make it?
Shane Doan, Coyotes. Okay, I like it. Let's keep going here. Obviously, Keith Kachuk.
Yeah, how many others do you actually have?
I had to Google it.
You had to
Gretzky
Google
was their
it.
coach.
Gretzky was their coach. Rick Tocchet.
What was Paul Bissonnette doing on the Katy Trail?
Paul Bissonnette barely played, but that's a solid pull. Man, I used to be able to do this so easily.
It's a name he's heard of.
Yeah.
That's why he said it.
God, that's sad. Back in my NHL 98 days, I could have gone 3 lines on the entire Western Conference.
What a game.
Dude.
I was definitely playing full schedules.
Oh, my God.
All 82?
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
When they introduced, like, the world, like, you could do the Olympics. Let's see here.
How are you doing on the show? Is that still a thing?
The show sucks.
What are you into now?
In fact, all sports video games now suck.
This is a common refrain that I see.
This isn't just run the ball guy?
No. Well, everybody's been pissed about Madden for a long time.
It's shifted from a game where, you sit down and you play the whole season, all 82, or all 162 if you're feeling frisky in baseball video games. But now it's all about your ultimate team and opening packs and trying to build your team based on cards you pull. It's all based on money. And it sucks. The product sucks.
So you don't like the college football thing that you were so into last year?
I do. Yeah, I still play that. But I used to get every sports, the NHL every year, the 2K every year, Madden, NCAA, the show, I'd get all 5 games every single calendar year, and I don't anymore.
Yeah, I did that. I was an EA guy, though, with some slight deviations. But, yeah, up until about 03. God, I loved NBA Live.
So is this kind of like Norm's Fantasy League? It just got to be too much. Like at first, it was kind of a little more than everyone else because everybody had like 5 minor leaguers. You had a 40-man roster, and then you had like 5 minor leaguers. And then it became like now you have like a 30-man minor league roster, and you're drafting players that are in low A. Like it got to be too much to me. Like you can't follow all of this, and like you're saying, you have to build this, and you're doing these trades, and you're. Like, it's not actually just sitting there and able to enjoy baseball anymore. I don't know.
Well,
yeah, I like
the product to suffer, too. I mean, they put too much work into this Ultimate Team stuff, and then the actual game itself is not good.
To just give me Ken Griffey
slugfest.
Dude, we would just play the full 162 in my buddy's garage, like overnight in 2 nights, with fake, lightly racist baseball player names because they didn't have the MLB PA rights.
So what does that mean? Leroy something or?
Oh, dude, you can look it up. The Indians were the funniest, and it was funny too because they were stylized after regular players. Like you knew which one was Albert Bell, but they just gave him Indian names. It would be like Geronimo.
Oh, okay. They would all fit like that.
Yeah, and the Rangers were like D. Crockett, but it's like, I feel like that's Jeff Fry. Not to reference Jeff Fry again. This is an insane, sad story. Leaving the Metroplex for a minute on this one. A Wisconsin man, 49 years old, died in a jail cell this week. He had been arrested after intentionally driving into a family and killing the mother, I believe injuring the rest of the family, right? So, revenge. Revenge for what? According to the criminal complaint, the deceased husband, the guy who lived through it, told police that allegations of a, quote, sensitive crime between his child and the accused child were brought forward in late March. The father, through an open records request, had received that report 2 hours before the accident. So a dad found something out and was so distraught by it that he found this family. I don't believe that the child who was involved in the crime was injured, but the mom was killed. And there are bystanders saying, like, this is clearly not an accident.
Mm-hmm. Where was it?
It's in Wisconsin.
Okay.
But, it's that age-old thing of how you...
what would you do if
crime
you
of
found
passion.
out? Yeah.
They're not saying anything in these stories, but when
You're
it's
thinking
a
of some kind of
sensitive
sexual-
crime, like it's between 2 kids, it's pretty clear. Like one of them,
It wasn't stealing.
no, or tossing Velveeta.
Unless you were stealing their innocence.
That true, yes. Let's see. A North Texas high school senior is fighting for his life after suffering a fall playing a game that I guess is popular with seniors that are about to graduate.
Okay.
It's called Senior Assassin. Does anybody know about this?
You do?
I don't know anything about this. Okay, the game has become an unofficial tradition for high school seniors. Players are assigned a target, and they spray them with their water guns. Some law enforcement agencies across the country have spoke out with safety concerns, including the concern that some guns look real. So, I think what happened here is he jumped on a girl's Jeep when it was parked, and he's probably got like a water gun, like, hey, I'm going to get you. And she's like, bah! Look, hits reverse, and he just falls off and hits his head on the concrete. Now he's in critical condition. How am I sitting here?
Let me victim blame.
For real, how am I sitting here alive? Any of you?
Just because you were car surfing and...
There's so many just a millimeter this way or that way.
Yeah.
And I know it's not me, it's everybody, but it's insane. Like, this kid's just dicking around. You fall, and yeah.
Did you guys ever play any games like that?
Yeah.
Like we had one of those, same thing with the water gun. There's a bunch of people in the game, and you just have to get someone that's in.
Like, just find them?
Whose name you pull, and you just don't know. It could be one of your best friends.
I love stuff like that.
And then, like, because I remember getting the guy. I got one of my best friends, and he was pissed because he was really into it. And I had to go stake out and, like, hide behind this same bush for, like, 3 days.
Respect.
Just to know which way he goes home. And, like, his older brother would drive him home from school. And so he would be in the passenger side, and often the window is open. I'm like, they're going to stop at this stop sign. and it's a fairly busy street ahead of them, so they have to stop. They can't just go rolling. And so, like, I scouted him out for many different areas and decided this would be the point. And then I went there on day 4 and popped out of that bush, and he just threw his gun at me.
Yeah.
Didn't talk to me
And
that
who
night.
says we need to hire an artist? And that's your news.
Oh.
We're set.
The Dumb Zone News.
That's what I am?
Like and subscribe.
Bum, 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 bum.
Today in history will be brought to us by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is kind of a bit where it's a little bit different. So to play, you choose whether a certain player will go higher or lower on one of their stats, like strikeouts or
rebounds, assists combined. Very straightforward.
You could choose from any league, Major League Baseball, NHL, whatever. You can create with all baseball picks, or you can mix and match it, but you're just taking one and the other, and then you got to pick one guy to go higher or lower, and then the other guy, and then if you get them both right, it's kind of like a parlay thing.
Listen,
then
ride this Boone train with this Texas Rangers offense, folks.
You could do 5 of them. You don't have to do just 2. You could do 20, but the more you put in there, the more you can win. It's great.
You can bet on esports on here.
It is underdogfantasy.com, or they have an app, and we have a promo code.
We do.
TMD. Sorry, were you
You're
about
fine.
to say that?
Yeah, I'm going to leave this one to you now. We're not getting any better at this.
Go ahead. You finish her up.
Because I think they might have changed our promo our code.
I think there's a disclaimer that you must read verbatim.
Okay, I will. I'll make sure I get that done for you. This is a mess, Dan, because I feel like they changed the promo code.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, for now, we're going to go with TMD.
Yeah.
Because that's what it says right here. And now you're going to read the disclaimer.
Yes. Where is the this is a disaster. This is poor performance on our part.
Download the Underdog app and sign up now using the promo code DUMBZONE to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit.
Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code DUMBZONE. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon first deposit. You doing it or me?
I'm done. You're now.
Okay. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
The Dumb Zone presents.
I think we're doing great.
I think it's
killed the engine.
Download the Underdog app. Use promo code DUMBZONE.
Is that the thing?
It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, because I said something different earlier, right?
It used to be different.
It's Dumb Zone.
It did used to be different.
It did.
No, there's 2 in the list.
And 1 in the fist.
He's back.
Boy.
All right, what do we got here, Amy? Oh, I got a couple of viewer mail birthdays. Dear Viscount of the Vagina, please wish my brother Brent a happy birthday. He's a lawyer, and he won't shut up about that one time he helped TC out with some lawyer thing, so if I get him a mention here, it'll pay off in years. Years more of pleasure for him, I'm sure. Slid a little something in the Venmo to get noticed. From Josh.
Received.
Who was his brother?
Brent.
Birthday, brah.
Dear Vagina Boys.
That's us.
I'd like to wish my best mate Max Bagby happy birthday. It's his Dirk minus Brendan Morrow birthday.
Brendan Morrow.
He will celebrate by attending the Shane Smith and the Saints concert at Red Rocks with a very suspicious vacation day from work the next day. He loves ketchup, and his heroes are Jasmine's voice, the Soroy comb-over, and Blake's Gold Bond towel. Never punt, from Matthew Makestand.
We still bonding?
Makestand? Stad?
Yeah, it feels like bond season is upon us. The heat.
Yeah, we've moved to a lotion.
Oh, is it not all like, don't you feel like you're
It
just...
dries.
It does?
Yeah. I forget the little slogan, but yeah, it dries. It smells good.
Interesting.
It dries between your thighs.
Yep.
Is that the slogan? No. Dear Uncle Poon Punisher.
Should be.
I'm a complete ass, and I forgot to write in this past Monday is the birthday of super strong good dude and DF Tim Timothy, the rookie mistake.
Hey.
Wow.
His leaders are the mozzarella logs at Bobby V's, everyone who wants less Sarah Hepola, and Blake choosing to not tell anyone that his wife is pregnant.
For you, Tim.
This is from Danny Biscuits.
I feel like Tim falls into that category of the Emmerichs and the Jareds of the world. He just seems like a good dude. And
that's a high...
Uncomfortably so. Like, I
don't think I know him well enough to throw him in with that.
And also, I was really impressed. Like, he used to post, like, his drinking escapades on the weekend. And then I, like, got out of rehab, and it was, like, this huge deal. And then, like, the day I got out or something, I saw he was just like, 1 year, no drinking. Like, cool. It was just like, he just did it, didn't tell anybody. And just, like...
He just stopped?
Just stopped, like a, normal person. Didn't need everybody to suck him off over it and tell him he's a hero.
That's why you did it.
And I immediately was like, I respect this guy more. I know.
You're like, you called Sarah and you're like, will you write an article about me for the Dallas Morning News?
That's why I quit, yeah.
I have an idea for a picture for it.
Starts there.
So today is Thursday, May 8th. This is some today in history. On this date in 1846, the first major battle of the Mexican-American War was fought at Palo Alto. General Zachary Taylor says here, U.S. forces led by General Zachary Taylor were able to beat off Mexican forces. Wow.
Yep. Put them all
That's
to sleep.
Where the whole...
Take over. Yep.
They were hazing them.
Got them to fly him to Miami, whatever you want.
On this day in 1947, the St. Louis Cardinals players were meeting because they were going to set up a protest about the fact that Jackie Robinson and the Dodgers were going to go play on their sainted field.
Unbelievable.
Their owner, Sam Breeden, had to go in and promise them all shiny new nickels if we did just please not this.
That's
this
amazing.
ain't going to be. Look, I don't like it either, but we're yelling at a cloud here where there's a tide. I know it's woke, but it's just the way it is, at least now. Don't worry, we're not going to be nice. You can spike him, spit on him. Here's a list of approved. You know what? Anything you decide to call him, I don't care. Fine.
I don't.
Nobody wants him.
I don't know anything about this, but I can almost assure you, these are probably the same people that minimize the Holocaust, or will always be like, yeah, but white people own slaves. I promise you, there's someone who's gone through and done the like. I know Jackie Robinson had it bad, but come on, was it that bad?
Right. It wasn't slavery, right?
Yeah, somebody's definitely done the. Oh, they make it seem a lot. I mean,
well, at the time when they were trying to get equal rights and everything, they're like, "You're not a slave."
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
What are we complaining about here?
We gave you the wiener.
Yeah. According to
one of our listeners hit me up, Silky, who is in fact a black guy, and was like, "Why are white guys so obsessed with black guy wiener? Like, you guys have really got to stop." And I'm like, I'm with you, dude. Like, I don't.
It's not that white guys are; it's because white ladies are. They like big.
I feel like there's a little bit of projecting there. Like, there's some psychological thing there, but he raises a good point.
It's not us, it's society. It's stereotypes. It's not me. On this day in 2011, I was there at the American Airlines Center. It was Mother's Day. And the Mavericks narrowly defeated the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. Just a destruction. I think it was, what was that, a 40-point win? That was so fun. I was there with my daughter.
That's awesome, man.
Because that was the first game she ever went to, was the last regular season game, home game at least that year, against New Orleans with Chris Paul's mom sitting right behind us. We had like the Fox seats, not Fox 4, the Fox Sports Southwest. Somehow I got a hold of those, and we sat like right next to the court. It was great. And then we just kept going to games throughout the playoffs.
That's so cool.
It really was like.
I bet she really appreciates it and treats you cool.
She can name Jan Mahimny to this day. Like, she knows the whole roster. She was really into the Mavs.
Jan Mahimny.
And on this day in 2019, Ranger outfielder Joey Gallo became the fastest player to get to 100 home runs.
Yay!
What's he doing now?
Ticking.
It was his 377th game, surpassing Mark McGwire. Who needed? You know what? I should give this to Jared for a trivia question.
He's 31.
Is Jared our number one Griffey guy?
Yeah.
Of the Dumb Zone stable?
Yeah.
Of contributors?
I might put BA above him.
Brandon Aubrey's. But the thing is, Brandon Aubrey has been in locker rooms, and I want to put Brandon Aubrey there. But I'm trying to be realistic, too. Because somebody, the other day I asked, who would you go with, Jared or Ted Emmerich? Because I hold them both in high regard. And who was it that without a hesitation was like, Jared? Like, it was you. You told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it based on Ted Emmerich's extreme profanity on one of the lost episodes?
I think it's partially that. It's somewhat.
'Cause I can't feel Jared
the
doing
tone
that.
and tenor of our group text. It's somewhat. His dad was just kind of known as like a guy who was bawdy, I guess. Not known as that, but he was just. He's just. Ted comes from like a feisty folk, I feel like. And I don't know much about Jared's family, but Jared's a guy who will text me all the time and be like, "Was that okay? Is everything cool? Like, we good?" He's going to text me about this right now, what I'm saying. He's a good person.
Because I think Ted's a great person. Do you think Jared's troubles with fertility helps him on this list?
Sure. Any sad song.
It's a little more...
Yeah. You got to have a story. But again, what is he trying to win? Like, what are we...
Just the great prestige. It's kind of like... At least you got a plaque for building your house correctly. And we have some birthdays today. Felix Jones is 38.
Felix Jones.
Cell phones.
Saw him getting out at the Perot the other day to go do his shift.
So fast, right?
I think he's been replaced, but that's a good bit.
Kemba Walker, 35.
Former
35.
Maverick great.
35.
Yeah, that's right.
That is so young.
Yeah, he's in the league a long time.
Remember when they tried to get him? Like, that was the apple of their eye from free agency? And then they did get him.
Like, you just got to put a whole team together, man. DeAndre Jordan, Darren Williams.
And wasn't he awesome while he was here?
He had a couple good games.
Former Ranger Adrian Gonzalez is 43. Michael Penix is 25.
What's his bit?
Is he starting?
I guess. No.
Kirk Cousins isn't still there, is he?
He is.
He is.
Oh. Mike D'Antoni is 74.
7 seconds or less.
Bill Cowher, 68.
Blake's book about boning.
Bill Cowher still, and always is, I guess, but he's considerably younger than Belichick. I would have thought Bill Cowher has to be older than Belichick.
Boy, that's a good one. I might have a new game here. Who's older? Bill Cowher, Tim Cowlishaw, or Chris Berman?
Lovie Smith, 67.
Boy, they're all in that range.
Ronnie Lott, 66. David Attenborough. You guys know who that is?
Come on, man.
Does run the ball guy now.
Is he the voice guy for the animal stuff?
That's absolutely who he is. He's 99.
What's his brother's bit? His brother's famous too, right? Richard Attenborough?
Is that his brother?
I think
I've
so.
heard of Richard Attenborough.
He's involved in the world of
I thought
films.
Attenborough might be like Smith in England, you know?
Oh, man, he ain't. Oh, he is his brother. Yeah, Richard Attenborough is the guy from Jurassic Park. The doctor.
Writer Thomas Pynchon is 87. I only mention him because he wrote Gravity's Rainbow, and that's one of those books where it's like, I don't know, people that are well-read and smart people are like, oh, Gravity's Rainbow, oh, one of the best books. And so, yeah, it's up there. Can you see it? There. Anyway, the point is, it's been on my shelf for like 10 years. I haven't opened it. Just one of those books, like, I got to buy this. I have to read it. All the people who read say this is the book to read, and it's really going to open my mind. And
No, I mean, I feel you. You're a very smart person.
I use it to bang chicks.
That's it.
Like,
that was
they're up
all
here.
it was.
I get a bookworm up here, and she's like, oh, my God, no way.
You think I wanted to read that Bukowski or Kerouac stuff when I was trying to get into the roller derby girl scene? No, I don't. That stuff sucks. It's illegible. What, you're a fan of the
Bukowski? Absolutely.
I'm not smart enough, and my life got a lot better when I realized that. It just gave up. Dan's still trying to be smart.
Music birthdays, Tony Tennille is 85.
Yacht Rock.
That is from The Captain and Tennille, not The Captain and Camille. Alex Van Halen, 72.
Damn.
Anthony Field is 62. He's from The Wiggles.
What is The Wiggles?
It's like a children's
Oh, it's Australian
group, but yeah,
I never
remember
know
my
what
kid.
those people are doing over there, you know?
In Australia?
Yeah. Like, you'll just occasionally be like, oh, they've got it. Here's their show.
They were like the
All
life,
right.
the life embodiment or whatever of. They're like Teletubbies.
Yes.
They all had a
Okay.
certain color, and they would just sing about spaghetti or something.
But I don't think I maybe it's just me. I kind of forget Australia's there sometimes. Please, someone tell me I'm not alone in this. You just don't hear about it
you don't
that
think
much.
about it.
Yeah,
It's not involved. They're not involved. Like in the news, you just don't hear a lot of.
No,
Just kind of there.
they got like a reef or something, right?
Great one.
Yeah,
Huge.
And then when they come up, you just mock them.
it's kind of like
I know.
Shrimp on the barbie.
Seriously, like most beautiful place on
Yeah.
earth. The people are just, they've died in the wool.
Have you been?
No, because
And you're a travel guy.
yeah, but that's one where you really have to be able to break off 2 full weeks to get the ROI, and I've never been able with like the ticket. I was never going to do that.
Fellas,
Listen, bro.
we can do it.
I gotta like plug stuff in and stuff down here.
We don't have European cables.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And Gary Glitter is 81.
What if the show went to Japan?
Blake's hero.
That'd be so funny.
If we were in Japan,
It'd be so funny.
I know a guy there.
Because, like, all of the shows that I liked when I was a kid, when shit started to get boring, they would send the characters to Asia. And it was
really?
Interesting twist. The Ninja Turtles are now in Kyoto.
If we got a sponsor to send us to Japan, would you do it? You got a geisha girl. They're giving out hinges left and right over there. It's great.
Seems far away.
You know,
Born on the
just to be
state-
clear, Japan's not Vietnam, right? So make sure you don't get confused.
They still are, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just all the ladies over there. They love the American man. Man, they would eat you up, bro. You'd be tall there.
What a jerk.
You'd be out at the local court running pickup games.
It's Shaq.
That'd be fun.
Born on this day now dead. Henry Dunant. He's the co-founder of the Red Cross.
What do they do?
Take blood.
Help people.
Then they give blood to people.
Are they
people without blood?
What do you think from Amy?
You
seems
look like you don't have blood.
She knows stuff. How about some blood? Are they good?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. You hear about some charity organizations where they
don't give much of their money to
Feels like
other
they've
people.
stood the test of time. That's usually an indicator.
Yeah.
Things are going well. Haven't people trying to been
take them down?
Yeah, they've been in the crosshairs of these other charity organizations for years, and nobody's been able to crack that nut.
Dude, coming up with the text to donate $10 saved these places 5-10 years ago. That's I've been in bed before and I'm like, oh man, flood? That looks like it sucks. Here's $12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've made it so easy to be moved by an image and then give them money.
But that's now been hurt by scammers pretending to be the Red Cross.
That's true too.
You know? Like, you don't click on anything from a text anymore, do you?
No.
No. I think some of you guys are getting a weirder text scene than I am, though, because I have people who are telling me, they get texts from friends that are spam.
Ooh.
Is that happening to any?
That happened to Clayton recently, I thought.
I heard somebody saying, this happens
Clayton
to him
got a
all the
political
time.
text.
He got a political one for sure.
I get fake texts from Jasmine all the time.
Really?
Yeah, asking if I'm available and she needs gift cards for something. I play along for a little bit because it's fun.
Like you're playing along with the bot or whatever's after you.
Yeah, with the person in a call center in some foreign country who's trying to get me to go buy Google Play cards at the 7-Eleven across the street.
Oh, so you're like, okay, what do you need?
Yeah, what do you need?
You sure that's it? You upsell them?
Yeah. Do you have a link I can click on? I don't.
I got a great promo code for you.
I got a text this morning. I was telling you guys about this earlier. The shirts are flying off the shelves. They're going to hold one shirt for 24 hours if I hit this thing. They'll hold one for me. They're selling Gulf of America shirts.
Need it.
I'm never calling it that.
Yeah. I think I could pick it out on a map, though.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about the Gulf of America, Mexico. A lot. Just going to sleep. Can't get to sleep. Also, born on this day, now dead, Don Rickles.
Funny.
And
I think he's in Dirty Work, isn't he?
Probably.
Yeah.
I know
Theater
that
owner.
Norm loved him.
Yeah.
And Corey Stringer, who was a Viking.
Not a bird.
How did he die? Not
He-
Corey Snyder.
Dehydration at practice?
Waters for the week.
Okay, that changed high school football.
God, they were I remember. We all remember when this happened.
Oh, yeah.
Coach is just gotta give him water now.
Coach, I need water.
One of the paid ones died. Dude, I was so bad about it too. I would drench myself. I feel like my body gets abnormally hot, and you think coaches want to hear, Coach, I'm hotter than the other kids. It's not a shower camp, you homo.
Dead on this day, still dead, Robert A. Heinlein, the science fiction writer. Dana Plato from Different Strokes.
The Cave.
You know what show Different Strokes was?
Is that the What Are You Talking About, Willis show?
That's right. Roy Horn died on this day in 2020 from Siegfried and Roy died of COVID.
Roy.
Like this tiger bit his head off and they're like,
Right.
COVID. And died on this day in 2021, Bo.
Cephas.
No, Bo, the White House dog.
The first dog.
Yeah, who was named after the first son.
Obama's dog.
Oh, wait, you're right.
Yeah.
Didn't the Bidens have an asshole dog that was named? What was their dog's name?
Captain.
Oh, maybe
They
you're
did
right.
have an asshole dog that was biting everybody.
Champ.
And that was Today in History.
This is a really random thing, and I know we got to go. I saw Joe Biden. Somebody did an interview. Is that the most just odd post-president? I kind of forgot he existed for the last 6 months.
He did an interview recently?
Like yesterday or today.
Hey, man.
It's he was just president.
Yeah. Not
Not involved. You know what I say to him?
What?
Adios, mofo.
So,
before closing remarks, can I mention one thing?
Jesus.
Our good friend Raymond is married to somebody hosting a golf tournament, and we are trying to auction off a twosome or maybe two twosomes.
A foursome.
To play in this golf tournament on May 17th. So if you would like to play with either me, Chappie, or Soroy and donate a little bit of money to Raymond's wife's charity, email us at thedumbzone@gmail.com.
There's no starting price?
I was thinking if we wanted to start the price at $6.90 and throw a sit-in in there.
That's a good idea, businessman.
We could do that. So if we only get one person interested in this, you can pick your choice of who you'd like to play with. If we get a couple, we'll split them up somehow. But if you are interested, you're free on May 17th, want to play some golf with probably Soroy and Chappie, hit us up. thedumbzone@gmail.com.
He's so humble because people know they're going to pick him.
Of course.
Or he
it's
knows.
a scramble. If you need a couple striped drives, I'm free. But if you'd like to win, play with Soroy.
You want to just stare in awe at that mustache for hours like I do? Closing remarks brought to us by Frankel & Frankel. The phone number to Frankel & Frankel if you get into a situation where you need a personal injury attorney, Amy.
333-3333. Just
you have to go with your area code first.
214-817.
That's
Doesn't
right.
matter.
214 or 817. Either of those will work, but they're personal injury attorneys. They're big supporters of the Dumb Zone, and if you get into a wreck, you might want to actually call them immediately. They will fight for your rights at Frankel & Frankel. So, now we are at closing remarks.
What
This is
happened?
Amy Martin.
What do you mean, what happened?
32 years.
Oh, he had a difficult job, and we had a daughter with multiple issues, ADHD, Tourette syndrome, OCD, anxiety, and needed lots of help. And
it happens.
yeah, so becomes a graduate of college, and all of a sudden we're like, who are you? And went to therapy for years and didn't work out.
So your whole life was revolved around that. Then all of a sudden it's like,
right.
Here's a person 20 years later.
He retired.
They are different now.
Our daughter didn't need my help anymore. So, yeah, it happens.
Wait, he retired.
Mm-hmm.
And your daughter didn't need what?
My help anymore.
Because she has him.
No.
What are we saying here?
My husband retired. My ex-husband retired.
Yeah.
And I had been helping our daughter on almost a daily basis. And so she matures, her brain turns 25. She doesn't need as much help anymore. And so then we had time for each other. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Just not usually after so many years.
And you're all horned up looking for a dude. You wouldn't say no if somebody
I would not say no. I have not said no.
would you like to date?
It's been a couple years since we started the process. So I've kind of dealt with all that. And
since you started what process?
The divorce.
Oh, okay. So you're not fully divorced?
No, I am.
Okay.
It takes a while.
It started in 2022.
And you've been dating, though? You've been out in the market?
Well, I'm on Match.
How does that work? Not a fan?
It's just so different, looking at photos and trying to figure out, you go to church all the time. I'm not that person. Is it really going to work? And then if they say, if I should find somebody who says they're a ticket listener, it's an immediate, what at least kind of sense of humor they'll have and that they like sports. So
that is a good shorthand to have.
But I've only met one guy that way, and he wasn't anything like his pictures. His pictures were from a long time. He could barely move, and I'm pretty active, so that wouldn't work. But he was a nice guy.
Do you have any age parameters?
Well,
what if you got a boy toy?
At this age, unless it's a brown man or a black man, a white man's not interested in me. As you have said before, I'm too old. So
now
you're 64, but I think you do not
expand on that. You've experienced that?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like Emily said, you don't want to go too high because you want to make sure the equipment works.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you're not looking for just companionship. You're
well,
looking for somebody
I'd like
to
both.
do some hammering away.
Sex was not a reason why my marriage ended.
Okay.
Or
had you strayed outside the marriage?
No.
With okay. So you haven't had. Well, have you had sex since you've been divorced?
Yes.
Okay. Was that weird?
Yes.
Was it awesome? I mean, weird.
Was it?
No.
It was, well, okay, so I dated my ex-husband off and on for 10 years before we married. So he'd been the only guy for a long time. So
for what, 30, 40 years?
Maybe, yeah, 38 years.
Okay. You had never. Okay, how many? What was your body count previous?
Don't, dude.
Well, I mean, back then
it's been a long time since I've thought about it. I don't.
A couple?
Yeah.
A handful.
Handful.
Okay, not like a dozen. Not like you never did any of the things. You didn't do a TikTok challenge where a bunch of guys.
I was a nerd, so no.
Okay, well, the nerds.
Yeah, not back then.
They're out there.
The nerd has had a nice steady incline in cultural relevance.
Okay, but you hadn't had sex with another man. Now, in the last, in the final years of your marriage, were you having sex a lot?
Yes.
You were while married?
Yes.
Okay. That's surprising. Then.
Yes.
That's not surprising at all.
Really?
Yeah, because like
I just thought that would wane. Well,
I mean, I'm
this
sure
isn't
that it
personal
can,
experience or anything.
But a lot of times if you're in like a volatile relationship, that's not an uncommon thing. Remember, I told you guys about there was a dude at the Hab that was like, man, when me and my girl fight, we just like to have sex.
Yeah,
we're all
I think
passionate.
I just became hornier.
Yeah,
as I got older.
That could be a simple explanation as well. They say these creatures reach their prime a little bit later.
Okay, so upon divorce, you had still been real sexually active.
Yeah, with my husband.
Right.
Yeah.
With this same old guy that I've been with for 38 years.
Yes.
And now, first time
with somebody else.
Yeah, what was that?
It was really odd. I mean, it was exciting, but it was strange.
Yeah.
How many dates previous or before it, or was it the first time? First date.
Oh no, it wasn't the first date. I don't know, handful.
Okay. Even just kissing him the first time, that's probably weird.
Really weird.
That's
even more intimate almost.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so.
And then was there like it's a handful of dates, but there is a time after dating when you're like, I know tonight might be it, or like had you actually talked overtly like, hey, I've been married for 38 years to this same guy.
Yeah,
I just want you to know this is.
Well,
she comes from a time when consent didn't even exist.
Yeah,
right.
I did mention that
a better day.
how odd it was, and but
you're like a person now.
He was pretty set that we wanted that to happen, and that was going to happen. And
wait, what do you mean?
Well, I don't know. He was very interested.
It's not to be interested in. She's a lovely lady.
No. I'm just saying, like, you talk about the 80s, what a 64-year-old, like this is a 40-year-old woman in the 80s.
Amy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the way things are these days.
All right, come on, say more.
No, I think you're looking great.
Yeah. No,
So yeah,
we
so
know
now
she has
this guy,
sex outside.
Tell me how he was overtly
not anymore.
He was overtly telling you though that he was like sex is part of this deal here.
Yeah,
is the night
like that day, or just like kind of explain this to me. What do you?
When we had the conversation, we were going to have sex.
Like that right then.
Yes.
Okay, you're like, hey, I haven't done this.
This is weird for me. I haven't done this with anybody else in a long time.
And he's like, stop talking. Get the top off.
Pretty much.
This ain't going to disappear on its own.
So
yeah, that's got to be so weird.
I got
Do you
over
talk
it.
to the ex at all anymore? Like, is there any? I guess you don't have any reason to.
He's really active on social media, saying really horrible things about me.
What?
So
that's a bummer.
I'm
man.
close
I don't
to
like
his
to hear
family,
that.
and he's not though. So
You're close to his family. Yeah.
because he's
That's a weird bit.
That's
he went off the deep end.
First sexual relations guy though since being married. Was it just that one time where you're like, huh?
Well, I'm
I'm
not seeing
underwhelmed.
that. I'm not. I have a different guy now.
Okay.
But he doesn't have time for me. He's got 2 young kids, and so.
Would you get married again?
No.
No. When you're this age, if the other person's parents are still alive, do you still have to meet them and stuff?
I have no idea.
It's always been interesting to me. Like
My Aunt Terry, who was married to Uncle Gary, started dating once Gary died. She was dating some old guy who was like 70 or whatever. And yeah, he would not move in with her because his mom would frown upon that. She was like 95.
That's kind of why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is I feel like people still from that generation,
right?
Yeah.
Most guys want a nurse or a purse that are my age or older.
I hadn't heard
That's
that
a
before.
great one.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So you think there are dudes that are just actually out for money?
Yeah.
And she's obviously retired, so she's done okay for herself.
I was married to a doctor.
Okay.
So we did okay.
Yeah.
But if you give somebody your cell phone number and your name and they have a subscription service, they can look up all that information about you. It's illegal, but you can do it. And the guy that was a ticket listener did that and showed me what he could see about me.
Whoa.
Rental properties, where I've lived, relatives.
Dang.
So you are a little bit of a purse.
What?
I could be.
And hypothetically, if you, weird, but like, what would be a good way to not get detected if that were your aim?
Google Voice. Oh, you mean if
I want the purse?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
If I get a Google Voice number, then they can't look me up. So that's my next
That's a good
step.
start. Yeah, that's probably coming straight from like India.
The guy that was the ticket listener, he told me that's what you do.
So you would be all for us setting you up, like let us.
Sure.
Would you do game show or something if we had 3 guys that wanted to do it? Oh,
Summer event?
Okay, but you guys
There you
have to come up with the questions because I would be horrible at that.
Yeah,
Like
if we set you up, paid for the date, and then at the summer event you came and tell everybody how the date was.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
The generic summer event.
We want you to be happy.
Aw.
You make us happy, and you deserve it.
Yeah, we've seen you out at a lot of. You come
You
to
seem
a
like
lot
an
of our
awesome,
bits,
awesome
right?
person. Always bring a smile.
I was about the
Big
only
supporter?
one at Taco Bell that one time when you guys were there. Off
Is this a Dan and Jake show? On the ticket, you mean?
Hang Zone.
Okay.
Bueno.
Was it Taco Bueno? It was
Yeah.
on Central next to
Jake's
the
sitting there
In-N-Out.
like, boy, if I've been to a Taco Bell,
I was gonna say,
know every
I mean,
time
listen.
I've been to a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Right, Taco Bueno. Okay.
Yeah, but you were.
I
That's
was
awesome.
the only one paying attention to you guys.
That's the funny thing about, I don't know, any remotes we do now, I think it's amazing because there'll be a ton of people there and they'll be really paying attention to the show and like it is a smaller but more fervent,
I went to Zoli's.
basic. Yeah, no.
And I was at the motorcycle place.
Oh,
I
I
talked
know.
to your
appreciate
dad.
that, yeah. So I would guess even if we didn't pay for a date for you, you would be at the summer event.
Yes, I had it. I
Which
actually
is,
had the
June
date
7th.
on my
Did you-
calendar.
Okay.
You must have mentioned
June
it
9th.
previous. So.
Now we've been directing closing remarks. Did you have anything?
Oh, I have gifts.
Of course
Well,
she
now.
does.
Okay, so you talked about fairy smut.
Mm-hmm.
So smut or erotica is much like porn. If you can think about it, it exists.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts.
Are you familiar with the porn game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? That's something that you'll log on to and be like, what's up?
Well, before the hub issues.
Before the hub issues.
Well, because now you have to.
It's a lot of.
Give me your license plate.
Yeah, a lot of work around. I just also want to note that no one, and I mean,
I thought you meant husband.
Fucking no one alive is saying logging on to some porn anymore.
Just firing it up.
This is log on to a little porn. It just
but I prefer my porn written.
Okay.
So the
slut. Yeah.
Respect. I wonder if that's a female thing. I'm not a visual person.
I've asked my wife, like, just flat out, like, is this kind of doing something for you? And she's like, there is some. It's that. Yeah.
Hell
it's something
yeah.
to that. I don't know if it's to the point of like needing to get to completion.
Do you do audio porn?
Oh,
okay. You never tried it? Would you do it if we offered you Blake reading Fairy Smut for you?
The other thing is somebody wrote in and said manual the power ran out, so they couldn't use their, I don't know, vibrator or whatever.
Oh yeah. So,
And you-
a lot
and
of
you
people thought
said-
that was fake.
No. What
Okay.
about manual? And she's like, that never cuts it. And I would have to agree. Once you've gone,
Once you've gone to the power tools,
then
you don't want to use the.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I couldn't.
You're not going to use the push mower after you've been on the, the riding mower.
So I couldn't think of what to get you guys. I'm like, So I thought.
You're so nice. You already got us some Eatsies. And...
Yeah.
Well, you have to tell me how much that is. So I got your wives something.
Smart move.
Don't open it yet.
Mother's Day weekend.
Yes.
Oh.
No, I'm not even gonna open it.
They're all the same. And this comes highly personally recommended.
Well, okay, she led into this by talking about a vibrator. So
the best.
Am I guessing that that's what?
Oh, honey.
I hope they don't think that's too weird.
See, now this is interesting.
God, they're so slick now.
We have to roll on it.
Yeah.
Oh no! It makes a lot of noise. But it's
not the hat.
Giving it to her.
No, I thought just.
You don't want to hear Blake. Like,
I'm just gonna put this recorder in here.
on my mustache.
No, I'm picturing Friday's show. Clayton, fire up Jake's wife's video now. Oh, there she is.
Hey, here's this prank I played on my wife. I'm selling this video for $9.
How dumb she is. Look how into it she
via
is.
Substack.
All right, now Blake's wife is pregnant, but some guys are into that. Here, fire up the video, Blake.
I meant audio, but okay.
Oh yeah, the rest of our wacky bit on tomorrow's Patreon.
But the thing about this is, many things are sold like this. And they are called
massagers.
Yeah, it's like a muscle massager. My wife might even have one next to the bed.
Yeah, it's funny how that.
But
Anyway,
it's for the tight muscles.
Highly rated.
And this just says it's called the Satisfier.
Yeah, satisfy her.
Generation 2. This isn't the.
God, you can't rest on your laurels. You know what do you think
How
you got it made?
improve?
And it just says blatantly on the front, because it's air pulse. Touch-free clitoral stimulation.
That's important too.
There's no
and it's a USB.
Germs.
Oh, so it'll be charged up.
Plug it in and recharge
Even if
it.
the electricity goes out, you're set.
It's got a special charger.
Oh, it does. It's not okay.
One end is 2 magnets. The other end is a USB.
Okay. I wanted to see if I could fire it up.
I don't know.
But yeah, boy, I got my.
Well, you do win an award for unique gift brought to the den.
No, the chat loves her.
Not all at once, fellas. We can go. I just want to plug this vibrator in.
Do you feel bad about taking off your shoes? You don't have socks? I actually have sponsor socks.
Oh.
Okay.
I was wearing sandals, so it didn't matter.
All right.
Thanks for the vibrator. That's what it's called, right?
Anytime. Yeah.
Adios, mofo.
Gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Call us.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my video.
The Dumb Zone generic summer event. June 7th, Saturday night. Jimmy Nelson comedy. We need the beehive Grady Spencer, prophets and outlaws. The Dumb Zone generic summer event, June 7th, Saturday night. Jimmy Nelson comedy. We need the Beehive to activate. Live bands, Grady Spencer, prophets and outlaws.